Why is my YouTube not live? Or is it live? It is live. Okay, cool. Have I done my pick'ems? No, I don't do pick'ems. How do I do them? Why is my YouTube not live? Wait, why can't I hear myself? There we go. Hello, 14 Re. Good morning, everyone. Boom, boom, boom. This could easily just be channel mates all the way. How good do channel mates look in That's so rough, man. Channel mates could easily go so deep here. I don't know if this is real, but I did that in 2 seconds. G2 or NRG? I'll go G2. Good morning. My mom thinks your accent was fake. That's a good little tweet, that is. That's a good tweet. I might steal that. It's pretty decent. Why does she think my accent is fake? Like, what does that mean? Hello, Hazza. I'm good. How are you, bro? I'm getting told I have a fake accent by someone's mom. Someone's mom. I can't let that slide, by the way. You're gonna have to explain before I start the VOD review. You're gonna have to expand on your point. Hello, Swen. Okay, this person's got scared. I called them out. Got scared. Not sure. I think she didn't really know where it's from. Okay, this doesn't help. Where are you from? And can you speak perfect English? Like, is English a native language? A first language? Second language? I am English. I was born in Bristol to a fairly normal family, and then I hung around with a bunch of fucking posh kids that spoke better English, and so my English is now a bastardization of Bristolian and posh cunt. You'll hear it in my ers. My ers. Where the fuck is the VOD? They're making me actually do it the old school way. Get off my land. No luck catching them swans then. Yeah, yeah, that's pretty much it. Just the one swan, actually. Why have I got no... God, this is scuffed. Bro, there's a lot before the game. Why is there 40 minutes before the game? I don't know, here, 20 minutes? It's a lot of time. It's a lot of desk. Oh, this is NRG Team Liquid. We're going G2 first. I don't really know why, but we're going G2 first. Some breeze. I don't think anyone's shown a great breeze so far. Doesn't your guy's king own all the swans in the UK or something? How confident are you that Fnatic family will qualify for London? Is there 4 teams? Or 3 teams? If there's 4, then they should give up if they don't qualify. If there's 3, they should still qualify, but 3, yeah, they should still qualify. Would you prefer a pretty girlfriend with a mid personality or a mid-looking girlfriend with a 10 out of 10 personality? Bro, are we back in fucking grade school? I mean, it depends for what duration of time you are intending on being with this person. If you're being with this person forever, then obviously the personality is going to be more important. If you're with this person just for a fun few weeks, then maybe the looks make more sense.
Let us see how they fare as we go into the opening pistol. 4 sheriffs and a ghost in the hands of T1. Couple classic.
I think it's one of those things where it's like, as long as you're attracted to someone, it doesn't matter like if you do that like it's very immature to like rank someone's looks out of 10 when you're in that zone. Like you're either attracted to them or you're not.
4 sheriffs and a ghost in the hands of T1.
I noticed when you're reading question chat, you're angled away from the mic and it's a lot softer. Oh, can you change that into feedback? It's a good note. Don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Yeah. Okay, right. Anyway, let's go into the VOD.
How they fare as we go into the opening pistol.
The wall is from here.
4 sheriffs and a ghost in the hands of T1.
Deep wall from G2.
Couple class.
I think that this game, I watched a little bit of this game. Meteor, I think that anyone who thinks that Meteor played bad this tournament would be correct. But look at the shit he has to do. T1, like when people keep saying this thing that like, oh, teams are good with macro. And then I'm seeing Meteor, a solo Astra on a pistol, having to hold the back of a site like he's a fucking chamber. Then I don't agree that good macro is the foundation. Like, I don't believe that every team knows it. If one of the best teams in the world and one of the best teams come out of one of the strongest regions in the world is doing shit like this, I just don't believe you. I don't believe you. There's not a world in which I'd let an Astra player be playing backside solo here.
Still here for G2. Jogamo taking point. Being revealed on the Meteor alone on the site for
Watch him now get 4 kills, but
pushing out of the smoke. Meteor trying to find the town.
doesn't mean my point's wrong.
A little bit of damage. Buzz still able to find one. His baby base going to be taken down. Jogamo now gone as well.
You run that simulation 100 times over, Meteor ain't getting more than 1 most of the time. It looked like they did this Viper rule from here, which allows the lurk, but the lurk isn't as good anymore because you can't actually see Spike. They are connecting up for doors though,
Out of the
I
smoke,
think.
trying to find the taps. It's only going to be getting a little.
Yeah, they were kind of like crunching the doors, but only one person. This person's late.
Bit of damage.
It just feels like they're doing G2 doing like Paper X cosplay a bit too hard. It's like, oh, I'm gonna go do a flash through the doors on a timing. You guys go over here. Like, it doesn't. I don't think it makes sense to make that as an individual player.
Still able to find one as Baby Bay's going to be taken down. Jogamo now gone as well. Trent forward into the smoke, finds the right click. Fallon, however, dropped his buzz, finds himself another elimination, and Leaf for now.
Can you do a full ASMR VOD review where you tap your nose on the mic? I'd be actually way too good at doing ASMR VOD reviews, and it would be scary. It would be scary. I've been listening to ASMR since I was like 17 years old. Back when people had no idea what it was. Back when people used to actually call it by its full name. I can't remember what the fuck it's called. But they used to call it by its full fucking name on Reddit and shit.
Meteor a little bit here, but Meteor puts up a smoke.
I am an OG ASMR believer and enjoyer.
And meanwhile, the rest of the team flooding in through those mid doors just ahead of Leaf and Buzz.
I did one of my uni projects was on ASMR in 2013, and I contacted what are now a bunch of like huge YouTubers. Back then, they a lot of them were like very small, and they like all answered me for interviews and stuff. It was kind of cool.
Just a cleanup job the rest of the way. Good start here for T1 on this
I believe
side. Well, this is the side of the map that G2 picked here. Attack. They would have liked.
Who did actually respond? The biggest one that I think responded is Massage ASMR responded to me. There was also some OGs that basically stopped since then.
Stronger side of things, but we're gonna go for
yes, autonomous sensory meridian response. I remember that. Yeah.
They would have liked to have gotten off.
I'm 31.
Stronger side of things, but we're gonna go for
okay, so ultimately T1 did end up holding, but it was a bad sign to me. Having your Astra be the A anchor is not a great sign.
Buzz contemplating the push, will go through.
Nice little dissipate repush. On an eco it's terrible, but like I like the usage of a dissipate to kind of take some space. Completely unnecessary against classics. Oh boy. And then Leaf's been caught again on a lurk. That's another thing that T1, that's 2 rounds in a row that we've seen this lurk come through. So if that's part of G2's game plan, they probably shouldn't give it up on a eco round. You'd hope that Leaf now started exploring up here or just grouping more.
Really got a key in out, especially on the defender side. Watch the way Valen positions those after smokes. He does a beautiful job of it.
Fast B split. Just fast top mid control.
A little bit of firepower here. Obviously, G2 going to be coming out on top of that regard, and Stacks does catch a glimpse on the jaw.
They have taken the top of mid at 1 minute 30. I'm not the biggest fan of this Viper, but they have got the top of mid at 130. That's pretty decent for attack to know that like all of this is clear.
Cannot get the drone dart through. We'll just silently drift back over towards the double.
The reaction probably from T1 should probably be to at least take A main, but they're not ready to. They don't really have the guns to do it either, to be honest.
Swing in and
that they're not going to be able to break through easily.
Some classic Breeze Angel.
Into the corner. Still gets a good amount of damage on the dog.
And now we see Viper. Look at T1 setup again. Look how ass it is. I guess it is low buy. But if this was a gun round here, this ain't a good setup at all, is it? They're not really able to do anything, but it's fine. And then the Yoru's not even like cross-map TPing. Their Yoru usage is pretty bad, isn't it? Isn't T1 one of the teams that just keeps like playing Yoru like a jet constantly? It never has like cross-map interesting shit happening.
Bonus for T1. 2 players with sheriffs.
Is Meteor still the best player in APAC? No. No. I think that he's still capable of being one of the, like, he's obviously still one of the best and still capable. This tournament wasn't very good for him, but I would argue that even my last VOD, I started speculating this idea that he's like an anchor player, and suits the anchor kind of meta. And I think he's the perfect player to highlight in terms of like anchoring in this meta isn't exactly the best idea, because the double duelist comps throw all their util onto the sites at you with that explosivity, have nothing for post plant, but then so if you choose to anchor against that, you're probably in a world of pain. And he's Astra trying to anchor backside A, for instance, you know? Like, he's constantly in spots where he's not able to do much. And on attack sides, his lurking was kind of getting shut down quite a lot. And that's more an individual skill, I think. He was getting shut down a bit, and might be in his own head a little bit, I don't know. Which team do you think's played the best Breeze? Honestly, I haven't seen, like, I've not sat here and watched tons of Breeze, but I've not been super impressed by any teams yet. I think every team has like a little thing they're probably good at, but no team's like had like a full system that I've been impressed by. On attack sides at least. Some teams on defense look okay. But attack sides have been pretty rough.
They're not going to be able to break through easily.
There's the shots flying, the swing in, and Buzz fadeaway shot.
It just feels like we're playing random strategy generator. We're just like, we're rolling a dice. It's a 4-sided dice, and it says either go B, go A, go B split, or go A split, and it seems kind of random. Maybe it's also got a mid default in there as well. Notion look great on attack. Okay, I mean, when they play Breeze this event, then I'll be locking in. I do like this though. This is a very good protocol to have. If you notice, there's a lot of people inside the map. I think the push throughs on B are really strong. So nice to see that from Izu. All of the better Breeze teams are doing it right now.
Players still stuck in a main to be rerallying that spike now. It's Izu. Full walk down past cannons, looking to try to catch Trent off guard. Weapon's gonna be drawn in, but Izu has the one.
Deceptively difficult shot that, I think. 3-0 start for T1, it looks like.
Yeah, at this point, from he with the help was a really.
Does G2 look a little bit?
Weapon's gonna be drawn. Walk down.
It's like they're trying to do a paperwork suppression on a map where like you can just get completely diffed. Lots of just random solo play.
Always has to be the rifles here for
What's the recon here?
Always.
Again, you see the Euro using the TP for his own side. I think overall T1's Euro usage has been pretty poor.
Has to be
nothing interesting. It's not inherently bad to have the TP on the same side as Euro, but if you're doing that all the time, I'm gonna guess if I was to like break down your playbook, it's probably not very good.
Trying to push in through elbow, but no contact to be found.
Already drone.
Attack's gonna drone. It doesn't see a thing.
Quick little drop down, gets the spot
It
out.
should be G2, yeah. G2 in a good position there. And then again, Meteor with the anchor. Like, you see what I mean? Like, he's an anchor player that tries to hold sides. He's trying to play off of the jet, but like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's not really the meta to do this, I don't think. It's nice by stacks. The shock darts on this map are ludicrous still. Like, imagine if Meteor was alive for all this shit. Like, I didn't really do pick'ems. I just very quickly ticked some teams. I wouldn't. I don't. My pick'ems are no more valid than any of your pick'ems. Just because I watched the game and know the game took quite a high level doesn't mean that I actually know anything about who's going to win.
Is his undoing, and there's Meteor getting tested, this time failing.
Some nice shots from Baby B there.
Use that op.
And then attack side up coming out.
So money's going to be weak here for T1 if they can't get this round to go.
So we got Dissipate Star to get across elbow.
Little bit in the bank for G2.
But we don't even bother using it. I guess it's because the defense can have an up, so I don't really know why we're not using the Dissipate.
Couple players a little bit low in that
We now
economy.
smoke is a default. Jesus Christ. Okay, never mind. It's a Dissipate smoke.
Meteor one a little.
What?
Little bit in the bank for G2.
Oh, it's a Viper orb. Okay.
Couple players a little bit low in that economy. Getting close to.
There's no, like, I don't think this mid default is the best. I think there needs to be like an interaction between these two spots. Really? Like it feels like there's no teamwork between the two lanes, if that makes sense. Like this is one lane and this is the second lane. It just feels like they're isolated from each other, if that makes any sense. Let's see how they work out.
Meteor one away.
Orb smoke.
Cosmic divide. Jogamo one away from the overdrive.
Or are they just waiting?
Munchkin this time gonna tuck in at doors, but he's gonna take this slow.
There's a peek. They'll fight Dink, but at that range doesn't do too much damage.
I mean, they're just waiting.
Just happily give
Okay,
up
then
that
Joke
space.
starts working up solo. Then we drone A main.
Just around the corner.
So we've not defaulted mid at all. They could still be anywhere in this area. Right now, this is still a full question mark. Right?
To take this peek, perhaps here into mid. Eats the decay on that poison orb. As the tailwind at the ready.
So they faked A with a drone, which isn't a great fake because there's no noise. There's still a question mark here.
He's tucked in.
They're going B with that question mark. I wonder how this happens. Like, this could be a cool idea. Like we go heavy B and then this guy takes the timing through the Viper Orb maybe. But he has to... They have to smoke again. And he has to be very cognizant of his flank and probably take a duel here most of the time. Yeah, so he does sneak through. I don't think this works most of the time though. And I think anyone who watches his VOD would shut this down now. They didn't mid default well enough. They didn't clear enough shit out of middle.
Getting closer and closer, hearing some of these rotations coming through. Buzz, however, still going to be able to find.
Yeah, we see Joe gets that free kill. I don't think that works again though. I don't think in the future that works against a different team. Can you teach us how to self-VOD review? Boaster's tip is to just go back and watch every time you died and see if you could figure out a way that you could play the round better around the time you died. Could you have stayed alive? Did you just whiff? Could you have made a better decision?
Sees the spot there onto the enemy Sova and has to go for the save. G2 back-to-back rounds. They're clawing their way right back into this map.
I have a lot of YouTube comments.
Looks like it might be a good
I don't watch the game live now.
T1 able to find a numbers advantage, but with only that stinger there for Munchkin, he's not
With
really
3 duelists working this meta,
like.
probably not. You need a smoke. You need a recon. And then the 5th slot is usually, so like the 5th slot after double duelist is most of the time better to be like a Viper, a Chamber, etc. You know, that 5th slot's always going to be better to be like one of these kind of agents than the 3rd duelist, in my opinion. Neon Wele Yoru is possible, but definitely just overkill. Like if you were to do triple duelist, I guess.
The rest of the team just flooding in together. Some big kills on the way in.
How do you feel about Sky on Haven and Karamata? I don't think it's very good. I don't think it's very good. I don't think Sky is very good in general, and Haven isn't a particularly great Sky, Haven map. If you're playing Sky, you're probably double initiator. And it's not a great double initiator map. Why has Sky never played at all? Why would you play Sky over Fade? That's basically the question. Sky doesn't have enough information. It has a worse drone. The drone is worse than Sova's. Sova drone is better, way better than Sky's on most instances. So on a map like this, you need vision. You need to see things with your drone. On shorter maps, Sky's drone is okay, but ultimately still doesn't have as much vision. And then it has less info tool. So like solo Sky Initiator is terrible, in my opinion. I think it's workable on Bind and on Split, but still not as good as Fade, in my opinion. Fade has lots more info tools.
Down into mid, and yeah, they have a double stack, and Leaf has the headshot.
Also, people will then say that there's like Oh, it's because teams aren't running Yoru. If you don't run Yoru, Yoru exists, therefore you can run no Sky, blah, 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 blah. You got no flashes. I don't think flashes matter that much.
What a shutdown.
Flash initiators have never been that powerful, in my opinion, but they're at their weakest point, yes.
Just being hit for now.
Sky was quite good at one point with the refresh cycle.
Over towards a main, but it's all of T1. Players at least gathered to stop pressure a bit. Almost just keep them training on this.
Yeah, they just threw a
Breach was always slightly overplayed.
Other parts of the map, so that's a really nice little.
Yeah, they have a double. Izu in the meanwhile.
They're just anti-hero gun. It's nice by G2. Nothing really super complex though. They're just playing anti-hero. He just gets a skill through the smoke.
The timing either way finds Munchkin. Buzz slotting forward, hasn't been spotted quite just yet. And now needs long.
Good spot.
They haven't been issue here.
There's this deep one trying to make adjustments into this round to full plant and make it a 5v4 retake. X does have his ult to respond potentially to a Hunter's Fury.
A main default, so they're gonna take. Are they gonna take the orb? So they just leave the orb value because they don't have anyone who can take orb. Surprised that Leaf doesn't go for the orb this round. They're gonna go A main anyway. Leaf has the op just to secure line. I get this. Looks like they're setting up for some kind of Euro ult strat.
That's something that G2 does have to be cognizant of. Maybe they push pretty far up here, looking for Meteor to try to push that.
Because Baby could just be upped right now. Yeah, I don't know what this is. Like, why? What was that? What did we do there?
Johnny on the spot, fast with the
flick. We put a Euro ult into a main to die. There's a very easy round we can do right here. We can just Euro ult Sova ult. Don't really understand why we're fucking around into places solo. Don't get it at all. We should just be if we're worried about setting up an ult at the start of the round, like if we're worried that like if we just Euro ult Sova ult start of round and the enemy just immediately just like bunkers and throws util at us, you just wait a little bit and throw some util out and you just default slightly. You don't go somewhere solo on the map to die. And then you group up and use your ults. It's really not that difficult.
41. Meanwhile, Izu again gonna try to push down, get onto an angle to utilize this operator. They're gonna try to drone him off this one. He does barely manage to make it out. Leap just there, swinging the other side with that operator. Can wanted to claim him. Where does G2 go from here?
So we got Jet on the full line A, which means that Sova. I think I'm starting to think in Valorant now, like this player needs to move this way if he gets seen now. If he moves this way or this way, he's fucked. Cause like G2 in this position should be overwhelming the back of the site, probably, given they're in a 4v5. I think positionally, I hope to see him just go towards this way if he gets split soon.
Find one here.
Okay, he does, okay. Nope, he doesn't. He gets stuck yellow. He should be here right now. He should have stayed here. And then he can play just for retake. We have full A main control. This guy needs to stop running now. As soon as he sees nothing here, he needs to go back A main. Although they're taking so long that this is going to work. But there's a very real possibility they just get out here and then he's just a normal flank. I would have kept A main control if I was Jet here. I think it's unnecessary to full flank. The contained positions now are quite good from T1, I think.
But still needing to clear out the remainder of this side. Meanwhile, Jogamo peels back a kill into the favorite.
Does get that frag though.
Overdrive. Time dwindling Buzz.
You can see how much G2 are scared of A main because the implied control from T1.
Not checking to the right. Just right there with him.
But Buzz spent the whole round with this control. Does all of that just to get killed in the back anyway. It's funny. Our Sentinel's bad in this meta. I would argue that Chamber and Vito are still strong. I think that Sage, Deadlock are playable. I think that also Cypher is playable in instances. I still think the irony to me here is that people say the Sentinel role is the least diverse it's ever been. I've seen that take. I think the Sentinel role is the most diverse it's ever been. It's just kind of weak right now. You can play a lot of different Sentis in this meta. It's just they're a little bit weaker than they used to be. And the ones that are not traditional are a bit stronger. Yeah, traditional Sentis are the weakest they've ever been.
Trent just tagged up once, but not taken down. Now the pit's
Is Mini a bad matchup against Danby and Nongshim? Why would playing Cypher be inherently bad against Danby?
Possession, but they are fighting their way back into this round. Now with the advantage, Stax has to lead the charge.
People still playing old Vice? I mean, like, pretty much Fnatic. Not much else.
The players are low, but the time is widely gone.
Vice, I think, is a traditional Senti, yes.
Still looking for a backstab angle as well.
Non-traditional Sentis to me are the ones who don't have full bunker kits. Like, Killjoy, Cypher, Vice are mostly played in pro players' full bunker agents. And they have a lot of utility to just throw down on the floor. Like, high util volume, high bunker kind of style. And then we got like, and that's why Viper, what I just said, high util, high bunker, Viper like almost comes into this category, and that's why it's so strong, because it still does what these agents tried to do or can do. You know?
Sends out the recon, but Leaf is tucked into the corner. So cheeky. And now the op is gone.
The other issue is that this map, the map pool right now lends itself to running Sentinel-less. Like, how many of the maps right now, Bind, Breeze, Split, Abyss, Corrode, the map pool is making it more obvious that, like, that is the case. I think if you watch, I think if we get to, when we get to Fracture and Lotus back, and honestly, if we ever had Icebox in the pool at the same time, like, I think Sentis then become like, people will be like, oh shit, no, Sentis are fine to some degree. Like, you're gonna have to play some Sentis.
G2 are in the lead.
This is incredible work from Jogamo, honoring out Meteor.
G2 warning down Stacks. He'll fighting there on the map right there with him. See overdrive. Finds him with a no scope. Never spotted him out.
Sorry, I missed the end of this round. Viper, oh, so it should be unlosable for G2.
Such a rough possession.
Yeah, the positional advantage from T1 this round was huge. 5v4 with full aiming control, and they managed to lose. That's egregious. That is egregious.
Deal with him, and he completely that is a different look from Miniboo and Team Liquid. But here you're seeing some similar issues that are cropping up.
Izu able to find one. Baby Bay forward with the dimensional drift, just escorting the rest of this squad forward into the A site. Jogamo looking for a kill. We'll set that fast lane and back away as the ping reveal comes through. Plays elusively enough. As Cosmic Divide as well, going to be layered in. G2.
That are from Miniboo and Team Liquid, but here you're seeing
Zero A split.
that are cropping up.
It's just the eco, so I'm not going to read too much into this round.
Baby Bay forward with the dimensional drift, just escorting the rest of this squad forward into the A site. Jogamo looking for a kill. We'll set that fast lane and back away as the ping reveal comes through. Plays elusively enough. As Cosmic Divide as well, going to be layered in. G2 not wanting his violence to go over T1 on any circumstances. Pop flash in, full blind, but I don't think they spotted Jogamo. Pursues down, he's looking for that kill, but can't quite find it. Another flash going to be coming in. This time Baby Bay, however, has the covering fire. Izu's...
Why is Baby Bay's...
Another flash going to be coming in. This time Baby Bay...
Why is his immediate reaction to look here to do a flash? Shouldn't he just be popping it off of this box?
However,
That's too long a flash, isn't it?
Izu's gone, Meteor dead, and it is just Stacks and Munchkin to try to make something happen, but Munchkin just has a Bucky, and Valen should have him absolutely screwed, but no, Munchkin Does get with a classic. Gets another as Trent falls.
Should be pretty easy
Now
for
suddenly,
Baby Bay as well.
versus Baby Bay. An old school matchup. Days long since past.
Why is Munchkin even go for it, man?
Warded. What in the world? Out of time there.
They look to try to turn this pace around. Maybe they just.
Okay, so fake A split pressure, but it's going to be a fast B split through smoke.
Storming up into mid.
But Baby Bay's going in with no support. The micro G2's micro isn't very good. The way that they fight together is pretty poor. It's a pretty poor imitation, I think. Like, look at the amount of times you just see one player doing something. Why is Baby Bay flashing through here when he can wait 1 second for his Astra to be next to him and they go together? This is a consistent problem for G2. I think if I was doing broadcast for this event, I would be looking for as many instances as possible to do a telestrator to like quickly show the amount of times G2 are doing pretty poor micro stuff. Like, they're not fighting together. They're just like, it's almost like they've been told to play like Paper Rex, and they've kind of all agreed, yeah, let's play like Paper Rex. And then like individually, they play like Paper Rex, but without the actual, oh, there's a teammate next to me, let's wait for them to do something. They have all the aggression, but none of the, like, in what planet is this reasonable when you have a player next to you? I don't really understand. You wouldn't do this in your ranked games, you know? Like, if I asked the players to play ranked, they would flame this player, you know what I mean? It's not Baby Bay specifically, I'm seeing it across all the time. Baby Bay and Jogum are going to be the biggest offenders because they're on the duelist. I keep seeing it. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna break down these kind of this level. I don't like this smoke Heartig either, but reasonably speaking, every team is doing it, and therefore, if I was to get angry every single VOD, it would just be annoying. I'm gonna wait for Breeze to get a bit better and teams to start playing this map a bit better, and then I can maybe start commenting on it. I'd rather just ignore it and just talk about the fundamentals right now. If teams aren't doing particularly amazing things macro-wise, I'd rather just, you know. The smoke, the valid use of this smoke is as a conditioning because, like, oh, it makes it feel like you're A-splitting, and then you could do the flash through. So that does kind of work. That's the part of the smoke that does work, and it's fine. But then, like, this is nonsense. The flash through solo is absolute nonsense. These fundamentals are going to be like what Pansy said about this meta was like she was actually fine with this meta. She was just disappointed by the fundamentals. I'm obviously like less fine with this meta, but I'm fine in general if it's only like if it's just for an event or two, fine. Like I'm fine. I'm a bit more worried that this is the direction of the game in general, rather than like a meta, if that makes sense. That's why I'm a bit more doomer about it, I guess. But what was I fucking saying? Like, yeah, Pansy was kind of disappointed by fundamentals. This is the kind of shit that I imagine she's talking about. There's a lot of times in cast when I'm listening to Pansy cast, I'm like, she's almost like, well, that was, you know, she'll say something like, oh, that was like optimistic, you know what I mean? Like, she's basically saying, what the fuck are they doing? They just solo peek these fucking noobs. That's the translation. And there's a lot of those moments that are happening at this tournament. And G2 are one of the biggest offenders, I think.
Push up deep into Nest for Jaw.
Yeah, he knows with Stacks dead that this might be clear, and they might be trying to reclaim.
I'm not. I think that micro and macro, I need to stop using those terms because it gets very like people that like. You're saying Genomics are a great micro team, right? Genomics to me are a very strong macro team. They're probably good with micro too, but to me they actually play a pretty decent macro. So yeah, I don't really love this whole macro versus micro thing. I think we're going down a weird route that's like, I don't love going on Reddit and seeing people say, I can't, the macro from T1's so bad. And it's like, you don't understand macro, bro. Don't pretend, you know.
Considering it. scoped in on the bridge, working his way closer and closer towards that sand side. Hunter Sphere at the same time going to be called in from Trent off screen, looking to try to flush out and open up this B side.
Macro is big pick. Okay, just to explain, macro it's an RTS thing, real-time strategy. We're talking let's try and explain RTS. So we're talking StarCraft, Warcraft 3 kind of vibes, right? I'm gonna use Warcraft 3 because it's my favorite game. Warcraft 3, you have macro, which is like your resources. So your wood, lumber, gold. Wait, your lumber and your gold, and then your food, and then it's also like your buildings, your like your bases, you know, like that kind of shit. It's the big picture stuff. It's all the big picture. That's what macro means. All of the big picture. The micro in RTS is then watching a clip of someone. Let's just Google. This is what micro is. Let's have a look. Warcraft 3. I'm gonna type in Warcraft 3 micro. Wasn't there that clip of the guy with the Zeppelin micro? That's the famous clip, I think. Micro is this. Clip 260. Wait, that's not that. Here. This is micro. You see this unit here? This is a Zeppelin. It can pick up units to dodge attacks. So look what he does. Look what this red guy does. He has this unit here that's being attacked. Takes it up so it stops getting attacked. Puts it back down. You see, low HP, low HP. Picks it up so it doesn't get attacked. But in between, they're getting attacks off. This is micro. So even though overall his units are very low HP and this guy's very high HP, because he's very quick with his micro, he's able to win this fight. You see? And it looks stupid, but it's quite impressive. Micro just means, and then here, micro again, he's moving his unit to body block this Archmage. And then it has to run away. It has to use a potion. So micro just means like the tiny little details, the little things you're doing, the kind of mechanical aspects more so. The macro means the big picture. Macro usually just means strategy to some degree, and micro just means like mechanics and tactics, if that makes sense. But to be honest with you, I'm quite bored of us as a Valorant community using these two terms because I don't think the audience is ready for them, and I think it gets too confusing. And then both these words look like the same word. They're only one letter difference, and it becomes a nightmare because people keep confusing them. But yeah,
It's gonna be Leaf who finds Buzz to do just that. Rewrap, however, down from Meteor through the elbow, looking to try to intercept. He will be good for one.
What words would you prefer us to use? Strategy. Strategy. I don't hate this new word. Like we keep using team fighting. I don't hate team fighting as an idea in some of these moments when we get like a big brawl happening. I just think it's strategy versus just like just fundamentals or playing as a team. Like this stuff is just playing as a team. It's not that deep. Or like cool utility, like utility combos, all that stuff. You can just explain it. Just I think we need to stop shorthanding it, like to some degree. It's my problem. It's a problem for me because I'm gonna always use the word macro. I'm gonna probably always be in that mind state because I obviously have played a lot of different games and I'm kind of so used to it, but I think it's a bad habit for me as a analyst or broadcaster. The CS also have micro and macro. Counter-Strike. So sorry if this is another tangent. Counter-Strike, they call they mostly just say strats for T side, and then they'll just say setups for CT. Strats and setups, and then like because the game is less diverse when it comes to utility, and like things like post plants and retakes, like retaking isn't very strong in that game. It becomes a little bit more like there's less options when it comes to macro. When it comes to big picture, there are less options. You're pretty much are you going to play 3A or are you going to play 3B? Like is usually the kind of decision being made in Counter-Strike. There are obviously with the more modern maps, and as the game has got very good, like people are very, very high level. Obviously there's like more decisions than that nowadays. But I would argue that most of Counter-Strike comes from like micro understandings. Like if you watch Inferno, it's not gonna be the macro that's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be the banana take. And the banana take is all about micro. It's about individuals making quick decisions and every round figuring out what util set they want to use against the other util set and stuff like that, you know? Have I played Age of Empires? Yes. Some of my friends got really into Age of Empires. Like, most of my friends are, like, very FPS coded. Like, they won't play games like that usually. But for whatever reason, during, like, last off-season, they started playing that new Age of Empires game. And, like, were grinding it, you know what I mean? It was kind of funny to see, because they're all just such like FPS kind of players. I didn't get to play very much because I was busy with work. But I do remember Archer rushing cheesing one of my friends, then making him quit and never coming back. So I just felt good enough. Like, even though I hadn't played the game very much, I was still good enough to cheese someone.
so well. And even invested the cosmic divide there. So painful.
Okay, fast mid again. That's the other thing about this. Couldn't Joe, as conditioning for their split playbook, like their splits in their playbook, Joe could just do this smoke if they want. Instead of doing this full smoke, they could just do this wall quite a lot. Do this wall to go up here, and then if they wanted to flash through, they still can. Bit of an inconsistency in their playbook potentially. I guess it makes the default, like on a default, they're going to be smoking here, so that's probably why. But I don't. Yeah. Anyway, let's go back. Why are they losing anti-eco? First thing is because they're rushing straight out middle. You see, even here, like, it just feels like it's anti-eco. G2 are the kind of team on anti-eco that historically that wouldn't just send someone solo to their death, right? But because now they're thinking like Paper Rex, they think they need to do shit like this. Just don't get it. Again, I keep saying it. I had a rule with the Durka that you would never use like double satchel on an anti-eco. And to me, what Jogamo is doing here is the equivalent of double satcheling up middle. You don't want to be so far ahead of your teammate that they can't trade. It's reckless. There are so many instances where like they need to tame their aggression. It's almost like if you put all the comments about like, you know, like people like me who are complaining about the meta a little bit, all of the comments, all of the like ways in which people like me describe the meta, if you fed that to AI and then made AI play like a team that like is supposed to be good in this meta, it's almost like that's how G2 play, except like we've missed all the nuance. Yo, Mini, how are you finding Santiago so far? That's alright. It's quite. I don't mind watching a meta like this for a little bit, but like I said earlier, like the reason I was so doom and gloom about the idea of this meta is because I worry it's the direction of the game overall forever, and not a meta shift. It's we will never go back to those days of like actually using utility. We are now just going to have double duelist in every single game, and you are going to have to play triple duelist and ranked every single game. I'm being very harsh on G2 here, I feel like. But the reason I'm being so harsh is because I like this team. And I think this team is very capable of, like, winning this tournament. It's just that they need to, like... I still think that what I said... I still think my thesis is correct, that, like, they need to kind of get to, you know... They need to do the pie chart of, like, this is G2 pre-2026. This is Paper Rex. They need to find this sweet spot in the middle where they're like mixing the two styles together. And right now, they're doing like the stuff that like Paper Rex, the reasons why Paper Rex are bad sometimes is what they're doing.
That's just gonna let him take elbow space. Buzz though with this op, this is so dangerous.
Do you like Zeta? I mean, what do you mean do I like Zeta? I mean, I work with them.
Cleaner, Jogamo, however, still alive, still deadly, has a stinger as well as the overdrive in the back pocket.
People often say CS are high scaling micro was. People was like micro because Counter-Strike has a spray pattern. And the shooting mechanics are generally better and harder. That means that in the shooting aspect, Counter-Strike's micro is harder. When it comes to utility, I don't think it is harder. But when it comes to gunfights, it is harder. That is the irony of our game being like, it's focused on gunplay now, despite the fact that our gunplay is pretty bad in this game.
Stack's gonna try to drone for Izu.
The gunplay isn't very good. It's fine, it's fun, it's arcadey, but we can't pretend that it's like a high skill ceiling kind of shooting game when it comes to just the shooting aspect. It ain't gonna be winning any awards versus Counter-Strike or even like, you know, the arena FPSs like Quake or anything.
Izu now potentially at risk though. They get past Buzz, but he is going to be good for the opening kill. And now
like again, the mid default. Remember, I keep saying, it looks like maybe that mid default doesn't ever get rid of this question mark, and part of it is this smoke. Like someone in the chat said earlier, like by using this smoke, they just continue to allow this question mark to exist, and they never actually clear out middle properly.
The overdrive in the back pocket.
Gonna try to drone for Izu.
Should have spotted more as well as that wall did fall. Just the reveal 1-to-1. G2.
Okay, they clear out the question mark now with the drone, but then they've not taken like if I was to like draw like this is like one part of middle and this is the other part of middle. That are the things that we need to take for a mid default, in my opinion. They never take both. They only ever take one. And if they do take both, it's like taking a long time. So right now it's been 50 seconds and they still don't have either. And they've not made any pressure anywhere else. Like right now, there should be someone in A main reasonably. I don't know why they're now both watching. Why has he got no TPs left either? My brother. He's got a TP B side of the map despite there being a Viper ult.
This is so dangerous. That's just gonna let him take elbow space. Buzz though with this op, this is so dangerous.
Looking to swing that corner. Tailwind at the ready. Baby Bay on the other side. Buzz.
Couldn't he? Isn't there a very valid argument that he could start? No, I'm not gonna go to it.
Continues to be good for them. Scale their way up through the hall and
sorry. So here's where we got to. The 50 seconds, they get picked off. 5v3. Picked off either side. This guy's now gonna get traded reasonably. Izu should get traded, which is fine. But no reaction at all again. No reaction. They're not even bothered by this. Not even gonna come and help. If I was these players, I would be like, Astra, come. We're gonna go. And then Buzz, instead of going for, Buzz should reasonably positionally probably be here, so that he can maintain this backside control whilst taking a shot. Instead, he goes for a worse angle and then has no full back option if he misses. And then Munchkin swings and loses. This is a terrible round. I remember seeing Sideshow doing a telestrator of this round afterwards. Or like he was like talking through this round afterwards. And I think it's a good round to highlight that these teams aren't playing very good. and he was right. Like he was pretty right. Like I'm glad that Josh was on the desk for that moment to actually criticize the teams in the way they should be criticized.
A 3K for him. Stax has to do it all. It seems like they have his position very well read.
Do you think game sense is more important than aim for a player?
Ready to get onto the flank.
It depends, like, because there's no such thing as a player with perfect aim and then no game sense. And so when you make this question, people seem to go to the extreme of like thinking that you're just like aim only, game sense only. I would rather have I would rather be picking up a player who is better with aiming than game sense, because I know I can coach the game sense side, or at least band-aid the game sense side.
Finding huge impact here after it looked like the round was going to be done, but Buzz had to back off from helping.
But reasonably speaking, if you were to put up someone's aim, like, I don't know, it's hard to distinguish the two sometimes. Like, Chronicle and Leo have good aim, but like, do they really have that much better aim than like anyone else at the VCT level? Or is it because they're in positions to do that because they're very smart players? So it's hard to distinguish the two.
Slow each other down, but this looks like a pacey A hit.
Oh, they're trying to make it go. The Meteor, some wild spray forward, finds it.
Oh, slow each other down, but this looks like a pacey.
So yeah, once again we see the anchor, the Meteor Astra anchor. This time it actually does pop off, but it's so difficult, man.
Wild spray forward, finds himself on another. His Valent's gonna be dropped as well. I think he just headshot him through the clone.
Basically, G2 went for an A main exec against a team playing 3A. There was no conditioning or anything. Not even trying to grab the orb. No orb grab for the Astra ult. Could very easily orb grab. Could maybe put like a very like weird. You could just put like a weird Astra ult down. Viper ult the front of the site. Win the round. But instead we don't ever go for ults. That's the other thing. Like I remember Trick on Twitter also putting something like people were praised in 2023 for like ults and stuff. It's like, well, teams aren't even picking up ults anymore and using them. I don't really understand. Like, I think ult usage is at like an all-time low. In terms of like modern Valorant, I think this is like the worst ult usage meta, like the worst ult usage I've seen in the meta.
7-5 at the half. T1 after
good aspects of the game right now.
Last year wasn't very good either, by the way. I mean it in general. But at least last year we finished the tournament with NRG Fnatic who would actually use their ults. I respect you, but come on, man. Is it not that hard a difference between micro and macro? Do you think people are that dumb?
Red Bull gives you wings.
Bro, like... I constantly am asked the differences between macro and micro, and people use them consistently wrong. So don't try and be some savant of fucking strategy. Like, it's not that deep, like...
Team Liquid was anemic. They were only able to get 4 rounds in, and one of them was the pistol. They immediately lost the eco when we got that
it's not that people are that dumb, it's just that you guys think that you're savants. It's not about being dumb. Not everyone has played 2,000 hours of fucking different games. Like, they're sometimes here just to relax and chill and watch and asking a valid question, you know what I mean? Like, can't help that you're all like savant geeks that just know, you know, everything.
Close here for G2. This is
disconnected.
Yeah, this could be a fight. Cleaner here, fourth there on ecos for a little bit, but I think it's gonna need to be a lot cleaner.
Like, in one respect, I think I'm the most pretentious person ever, and I'm very elitist, and I'm a dick. But at the same time, like, if anyone who genuinely asks me a question like that, like, about, like, micro or macro, like, I'm never gonna, like, I'm always gonna be here to, like, try and make it, like, if someone, like... I wish that more people in chat sometimes ask me basic questions. Because I think that, like, I skip over a lot of details. And, like, I think... I'm still not the best at making things accessible, and I think that is a very good goal for me, to make my work as accessible as possible. And so when people come in being a little bit elitist about things and kind of using my kind of bravado, I am a little bit like, that's not really the goal of the stream though, is it? Like, I do want people to learn and actually feel like they're learning, and ask even basic questions, because sometimes I might skip over stuff, you know what I mean? It's not like Valorant for Dummies, it's just making things actually accessible. I think just, yeah.
Here for G2. This is
disconnected.
Yeah, this could be a fight.
Just because you might understand some of the things I'm saying doesn't make you like some expert, you know what I mean? Like, it's just people are here to have fun and learn. Like, it's not that deep. I'm not like, your questions have to be now related to this VOD specifically though, Mystic. Like, I'm not gonna go do a VOD, like a full default breakdown right now. But like, I wish that like in the terms of like us talking about this map, like, I'm more than happy if someone was to, if I was to say something and not expand on my point, and you don't fully understand what I'm saying, I don't like, I encourage people to ask me like questions that like might seem silly but like or basic. You know.
Huge stuff here. I mean, G2 is so.
So instead of educating people, you'd rather change the terminology and dumb things down. I think you have a very, very strange view on like what dumbing things down means. Again, making things more accessible doesn't necessarily mean you have to dumb it down. At no point did I say that we had to dumb down talking about micro and macro. I'm just saying that the terminology itself I don't think is very useful language at the moment, because people confuse them all the times, and even experts use them interchangeably sometimes in ways that don't make sense. There is at no point did I say about dumbing things down. At no point did I think saying about making things, you know, more stupid. Christ almighty. The issue is like, for a job, for like my job before Valorant was literally like a graphic design job that was all about accessibility and making things easy to understand, both like visually and like even in content. And it's so funny now that like I have this problem I'm trying to tackle about like accessibility, and like people are just like being a bit pretentious about it. It's just, I don't know. At the end of the day, the average viewer, I believe, watching VCT is about gold elo. So like, I would prefer that, like, you know, that we let the average viewer actually understand what's going on some level.
Good amount of attention towards this A site.
Yeah, exactly. It's not about dumbing. It's not about dumb. It's about having 90% of the stream understand and not only like 20%. Yeah, pretty much. Sometimes I'm gonna like steamroll the stream a little bit, and like I'm gonna like move, like I'm gonna mostly talk in a language that maybe some people won't understand, because like I can't always think in terms of like making things basic and accessible. But yeah, I think a goal for the stream, and generally my analysis, should be that like as many people as humanly possible should be able to understand what's going on to some degree. On stream, I think it's less so a goal, but in my analysis on broadcast, I think that like absolutely I should be able to speak and the layman understand what the fuck I'm trying to say, which I don't think always happens.
I'm not sure if he's going to be able to collect that weapon. No, Valen will find
VCT, yes. A pro coach stream, I don't think so. Do you really think that there's that high a difference right now? Do you really think that most people in this chat are immortal? And do you think that actually an immortal player would even understand half the shit I'm talking about? Because all the answers to those are no. I reckon my stream average chat is probably about 2 ranks higher than gold.
HP in a dream, takes Baby Bay low, takes him down.
I reckon like Ascendant at a max is average. I think the average is probably about Diamond.
Up to half. Can pull off the spike defuse with ease. Gets himself a 3K and another round win for G2. But
I'm not going to do a poll right now, but I think the average would be about Diamond.
You'd probably feel good about that.
Okay, anyway, I got sidetracked.
Here to come alive as well, 'cause they were getting
Pistol round, fast B from T1. Retake flood from G2. They did have elbow control here, but they didn't go for the push through. I guess because of this. I wouldn't hate, like, with these two to, like, actually push down and just go for a 3-man flank here. That'd be kind of cool. Put lots of pressure on the flank quickly here. Instead, we're going to flood. Waiting for 5 and just retaking? No? Okay, these two then go through. What is the point of Neon going here and then going back? And then these two coming up here? I think what would have been cool there is these two went down, this guy stayed, put a lot of pressure on this flank. Neon can run back if he wants to, and then we have a pinch on the side. Instead, we just waste a lot of time doing the exact same kind of thing, just worse.
One shot in reply, and he managed to send it right between Buzz's eyes. What a hit from him.
It works though. Some Breeze gameplay. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. Generally speaking, the fact that they actually put pressure on flank is a tick. I just think the ways that they did it were slightly inefficient potentially.
Doesn't have the numbers, the firepower, the time. G2 take the pistol. They get themselves up by 3.
Huge stuff here. I mean, G2 is so patient behind these smokes, and you know, just that short box, letting them know. We're letting them know they're a little shaky right now.
TLDR, don't feel embarrassed if you have a question to ask me. Like, I feel like if the question is relevant to this VOD, it would be very good. But in general, like, I really encourage that if I speak and I say something you don't understand, like, please, I encourage you to ask me what I meant, or like to rephrase or to expand. It's something I'm struggling with on broadcast a little bit. Like, I keep saying it to like my co-analysts or like the host. Like, if I ever say anything that like you don't understand or like doesn't make sense or like you want me to expand on, just like follow up on me, because like I have a problem of like sometimes making it too concise and not expanding my point in a way that makes it accessible. Obviously, it's on me to do that work for broadcast, but I think in general, yeah. I'm never gonna make people feel shit for, you know. Do you think Jet is still one of the best duelists on this map? Yeah. I don't get why teams choose Jet over Neon or Waylay. I mean, Waylay reasonably on this map. What is the Waylay gonna do? Like, you can't, if you think about Waylay, she's trying to dive in to get a saturate off. But reasonably speaking, she's the places you want to saturate are like here. Like the danger zones on the map are like these areas, you know? And the Whaler's not going to be able to dive in deep enough to get a saturate off. You'd have to walk out and then dive and then saturate, probably. And then around here, it's probably the same. Like, you could probably just very easily dodge saturates quite often. So yeah, I think Jet on this map's very valid, just because like the amount of value smokes can have on this map. If you think like every single choke on the map can be like Jet smoked to some degree, like that's kind of useful. And then the actual dashes in, especially on B, are pretty decent. Yeah, defensively, like I feel like holding deeper space on the map is actually quite valid. And Waylay, the way you play Waylay probably isn't as, I don't explain it. It's like you press the TP and then you go in. Whereas on this map, I feel like you're more than fine to just play Jet and just do your kind of pressing dash when you need to kind of shit, you know. Yeah. Is Wele useless without Yoru? No. Wele's strong with Neon. Wele's also fine solo if you're like playing like NRG style. You just have to be very good.
On the corner over towards cannons.
Juke saying, yeah, Anders talks about this smoke, right? Attackers should be using this smoke more rather than this smoke. I quite like the idea. I think Anders is very smart and onto something there. But it's the kind of stuff that I'd rather Anders just like talked about. Because it's almost like his kind of ideas, and most teams just run this shit, and I can't really. If no one gives me example counter, then I just don't want to be sat here like just parroting Anders, you know what I mean?
Stacks pulling back, tucks around the corner over towards cannons. Trent, does he read it? Oh, no, but they're not going to be able to find the shots to connect.
The danger zones are areas in the city, so where they can be valid, no. Where they still fine, but it's like, reasonably speaking, where they strength is dashing into areas and saturating opponents, and there's no one to saturate on this map. Is what I'm trying to say.
46 HP in a dream, takes Baby Bay low, takes him down, looks for the follow-up, finds it.
What is this five? What is attack? Oh, are we talking about this wall here? I like this wall. What is this wall? Are we talking about this wall? What does this wall achieve? If you think about this wall allows you to you know, rotate mid freely like normal, but instead of it doing this, which isn't that useful because reasonably speaking the attack just walks past us at the start of the round anyway, like it allows you to contest, like if you wanted to, if your server's here and your guy's here, you can still contest this part of the wall like quite nicely. And then on top of that, if you do go down middle and like play for deeper middle stuff, they're not gonna walk out here and be able to like clear you. Like it requires like more thought. The other thing is it gives you like a line. This door is kind of a little bit undervalued, and it gives you a nice line to like see through middle quite nicely. Obviously, if they smoke here a lot, then it denies your line. But this smoke kind of helps you anyway, because it means that they're giving you, if they smoke here, the attack is pretty much giving you all the space for free. Like they're just letting you have the space most of the time. So yeah, it's just like a nicer variation on this shit wall. On this wall, the walls that go across there. Sometimes you'll see it thrown with this part here, which I quite like too, where like it allows you to defend B splits as well. They have to run through a wall for a B split. I think that variation's a little bit better.
Second, crazy good stuff. Cutting through.
It is just the
oh yeah, the attack that, okay, so like attack defense does get here first, to be fair. But I think that you can just, if you just dissipate and fight, I don't know how good this part of the wall actually is. Reasonably speaking, all that happens is you would just wait for this part of the wall to go down, and then you just dissipate and fight this guy anyway, I think.
one bandit, everybody else with classics. Granted, Munchkin showed that he could be deadly with them. The rest of the team very much looking to prove the same.
Okay, I'm not here to answer all these questions. When I said that, like, feel free to ask me stuff, I meant more like, if I make a point and I'm not explaining myself fully, just ask me to expand if you ask a question. Anything relevant to what we're watching right now, or anything I'm saying, feel free to ask questions about. I can't just sit here and answer questions though. I need to get on the VOD. Someone flamed me in my comment section saying that like they like my shit, but like I spent most of the time just yapping, and I think they're right. And someone else was like, the chat can be very distracting. I think it's good that we have lots of questions, but just ask them in my Discord if there's more general questions. Or ask them on a time when I'm not VOD reviewing. But unfortunately, this entire Santiago, I'm only going to be streaming VOD reviews. I'm not going to be answering questions. If you watch me play ranked or something, that's when you should be asking me random questions. The questions you should be asking me right now are anything that I'm saying, that I'm not expanding on, or anything relevant to this map. So yeah, once again, T1 aren't even doing... See what I mean by breeze attack? Like, teams aren't taking... Like, this is important, this is important. Fucking Cryptic's messaging me, the idiot. Throwback to Fish123, Cryptic's. One sec. Let me just WhatsApp him quickly. Oh fuck. I don't even have his number. Get fuck Cryptic's. We'll wait for him to see if he realizes I'm streaming. Come to chat maybe.
It's a pretty sparse buy. A couple sheriffs, Bucky in there, Stinger for Valen. So a little bit of a mid exploration early for T1.
Yeah, so I don't know why we got 4. Oh, it's an anti-eco. It is an anti-eco, so it's fine.
T1 really wants to establish, so they're gonna take their time here. Don't have any A main.
Outside of overview, don't avoid yapping. It's one of the best things an entertainer can do. Yeah, no, I agree. And I am slightly annoyed that, like, even in VOD review, like, sometimes I can't just VOD review for like a month straight and be expected to watch every game with only analysis, because like not every game is the best, and then at the same time I am a human and I do enjoy talking about other things, but I will try my best to make it like analysis focused.
Maybe they starting to scale forward though.
It's just I get a bit more bored about some stuff. Yeah, anti-eco.
Eventually finds the headshot. Valen out. Spike jog him a bit with win. The next thing he's still and they're ultimately back one. You see
how they want to shore up the defenses a little bit. Maybe Giacomo goes for a contested A main now. Seems like that is
See how Valen plays the A site as the A player. I think he's gonna do probably some of the stuff Meteor's doing, but then if he's playing a bit more up here, it's a little bit safer. Joe goes for some minor control, and then see how I said earlier about like the 2 players were here for T1, and I said I wanted them to go up close here to help their team. And this is what we see here. We see a little bit of pressure, and then because we have someone walked down middle, we actually have a nice mid collapse right now. We see them actually grouping up. This is quite nice.
Actually backing off. There wasn't that fast hit that they were also thinking about. So both teams kind of having similar ideas actually on how they thought the other was going to approach them.
Like this guy would, if this was T1, they would have been here as well. Like just being slightly closer to his team is like strong by Valen.
Hold for Izu. He's often tasked with being that guy behind the pillar, but he's going to TP out, join the
and then T1's mid default. Their default this round doesn't clear this. Still question mark, still question mark. They haven't done anything on the map.
They thought the other was going to approach around. So now just hold for Izu. He's often tasked with being that guy behind the pillar. He's going to TP out, join the rest of the force.
TP out to A. They've done nothing. So now this A, when this A hit happens, there is going to be 4 people very quickly being able to contain.
Try to set up for this A hit. Assume off the back of his ultimate.
Okay, this player's now making the wrong decision though.
Try to clear some space, get into post plants. Here we go.
Dimensional drift in or being taken.
But we were about to have 4 people very close. We're still kind of close enough to have 4 people to help contain. This is what I'm worried about though. Like every single time G2 can make a decision, they will make a decision that is based on an individual play now. Okay, so they went for it and then decided against it. 4 people able to contain. Let me see ult in, and then we'd hope that T1 actually put some pressure up now. But ultimately G2 are in position already. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me that G2 won this round. They had this control, which meant they could pivot very quickly into either site. They didn't overcommit on the site itself to die. Like, even with the pressure here, they didn't end up doing it. They just had 4 people ready. T1's default wasn't good enough to put any question marks on the map to make the rotations bad enough. Even with Trent thinking it might have been a B there. Is it normal for server to ult carrying a bomb site? Carrying a bomb also? No. It's a slight mistake. Okay, once again, it is low buy, but once again, we're seeing a default in which, like, we're not going to be able to do... Wait. They actually did the cool smoke that Anders was suggesting, but they don't actually use it to do anything. They never actually go up. They just get owned at elbow. I think I'm waiting for a team to do a good mid default. We usually see just one or the other, and then we're not seeing, like, I want to see question marks removed on the map. Otherwise, just do XX.
What's that call look like for T1? Thrown over the top, spot onto both duelists, a slide forward, and Jogamo able to collect one.
Nice.
Thrown over the top, spot on.
So then the read from G2 is they think that T1 are just going to go A, which is correct. Neon stun comes in, gets everything down here. Reasonably speaking, I don't really know what this star is for. It would be nice to have some kind of conditioned deeper star, in my opinion, so that you, when this play happens, that you can just star. You can just stun, grab well, smoke, whatever. But G2 haven't been conditioning anything. So they can, and they're lucky that Jet is smoked for them, basically. This Jet smoke is kind of bad. The smoke should have come here. Buzz should have smoked here. Like, if he smoked here, I think they survive. And Longshim good. I think they should be slightly favored against mates. Whoever wins that game, I think, wins the next game. I think beats G2 right now. I think both teams are very good. I'm a big fan of both. It would just be weird to me. I can't like BBL as much as I do, and then also like Gentleman as much as I do, and think both are going to do well. It just feels wrong. It feels wrong to beat EMEA and have hope. So I'm going to have to presume that Apex #1 seed is actually pretty good. Which they are. I've watched their VODs. They're pretty good. They are pretty good.
We'll be able to find that kill. Spot up for Meteor. The head found. Valen dead. Now into a 2v2.
Subtle AG shade? I don't know what the subtle AG shade is. I've been very explicit on my thoughts about AG. I don't...
The tap of the defuse. Trent to watch, to protect, and to guard. Point. 1v in. Fast.
To guard. Is that a reference? Is that Achilles referencing? Why would you do mid default if the meta is 2 duelists hitting sites and breezes retake hard and you need the util? That's a good question. So Uncle Sam, I think so Uncle Sam asked, why would you mid default if the meta is 2 duelists hitting sites? You can still, okay. The way you frame that question is basically, the problem with the ways in which we talk about the meta doesn't mean that you shouldn't be defaulting the map a little bit. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't be like taking map control. If you don't mid default at all and you leave question marks here and here, it means that the defense could do multiple things. They can rotate between middle very freely to quickly flood your sites that you're execing. They can push out and flank anything that they want to. They get huge positional advantages. So even if your strategy is to go here and you've left mid open, they could be very quickly for here. They could very quickly flank you. If your strategy is to go here quick, they can very easily disrupt you with a couple of people here. They could easily just be flanking like everything on the map because you haven't dealt with this at all. So yeah, you still need to do something on the map. If you don't, you're going to be in a world of pain. The best teams are the ones that are able to do very, very minimal things on the map that are just enough to create a bit of a distraction, create some question marks, not allow the defense to just easily hold your sites. Yeah. Pre-flanks OP on Breeze, rotates through mid on mid is OP on Breeze. What Duke said is true. There are some maps, like Breeze, where if you do hit the sites, you are still in a decent position. You don't need to necessarily default middle if you don't want to. But you're probably not going to win a tournament if on every map you're going to choose the minimum required option for like basic strategy. You know what I mean? Like if you choose the most basic strategy across every map, you probably shouldn't win a tournament, even in this meta. So yeah. So there are maps like this where you could just do a bunch of nothing. You could sit back a little bit, group up and go A, group up and go B, and some teams are going to win doing that. I doubt if you did that across all your maps consistently that you're going to win a tournament. You shouldn't, but this meta, it's the most likely to happen in this meta. Yeah. The difference between this meta and other metas was that like taking mid would have been step 1. That would have been step 1. There would then be a step 2 often in older metas that might be then manipulating the rotations a little bit. And then you would go step 3 exec. And we're now going to skip this entire step 2. We're never going to do any step 2 stuff anymore, I don't think. It's more about just doing a little, like, it's more quick default with your minimal utility, then exec. You shouldn't see that step 2. That step 2 is where the kind of fanatics of the world lie. That's where boasters, you know, that's why the clock runs down to 10 seconds. And why the irony of when people say they do nothing on the map for a minute, sometimes that's true. But most of the time it's because they are trying to do something on the map. It might look subtle, but to defend them a little bit, they are trying to do something.
This time, trying to use
it might not always be the most efficient or the most fun to watch, but okay, we see the smoke again. T1 actually doing good smoke. The problem is though is that once again, G2 just have 3 strong-sided the correct position. Okay, G2 are in a world of pain here. The Yoru's TP'd out. Neon is solo. Yasha's solo. This should be quite easy for T1. The Viper was gonna fuck them though. This Viper was terrible, right? They can't. Are they gonna wall themselves up and have to walk through their own wall? They are. Izu. Izu. Why didn't they just go together and not go through a Viper wall? I don't know, bro. They Viper walled themselves, which is nuts. This should have been an easy T1 round. They just blundered.
In desperation, throws everything that he can at this round.
I think it doesn't mean that all gamers won't necessarily just fall over in the playoffs. Much like how XLG still stood, like what I was saying, like XLG stood a chance on some of the maps versus some of the teams. All gamers will stand a chance, and like the problem I have is that all gamers might win a game, and then people are like, "Oh no, like this is by far the best team." It's like, well, like okay, like if you want to read it off of the one game they played, sure, like.
nothing more. 13-6, G2.
Looked calm.
I do think that all gamers are probably the weakest team in playoffs now. Yeah, they're probably the weakest team here. Honestly, playing G2 isn't... That's probably the best matchup right now. I don't think G2 are playing that strong a game. If G2 continue to play this kind of individual style, all gamers have the players to deal with that completely. If they don't tighten up their shit, all gamers could absolutely win that. Okay, 16-14. Let's have a look. Just to preface this, T1 comp switched their Gen G comp. I think that Gen G have done irrevocable damage. Is irrevocable the right word? I don't know. Gen G have done so much damage to the way every team plays Haven these days, with their like Viper Killjoy comp, the Neon Viper Killjoy, that very few teams actually, I think, know how to play Haven anymore and just copy what Gen G have been doing. So it's funny to see that Munchkin, literally the IGL for that comp, switched his comp mid-tournament to deal with the double flash, double duelist. I was hoping they would win this game so that we could see better Haven in the future. It's completely rotted people's brains, yeah. So yeah. Unfortunately, they don't, and so we're going to continue to see Gen G's Haven on this map forever, and people are going to keep playing to go B every single round on attack sides, and it's going to be hard to watch. But in the meantime, the double duelist comps will beat them because those teams don't know how to play the map very well. Until we see a very good Viper team, I don't think we're going to see them succeed versus the double duelist very well. Paperx Haven with the Phoenix. I don't love Phoenix on this map, but it is doing quite well against the kind of Gen G style. I'm not the biggest Phoenix fan in general. I think that it's like not fully optimal, but against the Gen G style, it seems to be doing quite well. And then it generally is like, it's an agent I have a soft spot for to some degree, because like I like it in ranked and like I can see the value of it. But if you're playing it across multiple maps, then I don't think it's correct right now. Thoughts on triple duelist? Why do people is there someone who's advocating for triple duelist right now, or are you guys just all thinking about triple duelist? TMV. Triple duelist isn't a thing. It's possible, but probably not optimal. Yeah. Triple duel for Skydrop. For what? Ang also mentioned it. Okay. Yeah. Triple duelist on split replacing Sky. I mean, you should just replace Sky with Fade. Do you think Euro ISO comp is still good? Okay, so this comp is one of the best comps on Haven, I think, still. This kind of Euro ISO, I think, is very strong. I think the ISO specifically deals extremely well with Chamber as a counter. If you have a very op-heavy agent on the other side, which is going to be the Chamber, the ISO counters it extremely well. You can use your little shield thing to scale up, and then you can use your actual armor shield to just tank shots. Not advocating per se, just talks about possibility. So people need to stop like doing that. Like, it's not. When someone just makes a video about it, talking about possibility, and then PaperX also say like, "Oh, triple duels could be a thing." Like, it's not them advocating for it. TMV was basically saying TL were playing too fast for Sky's info to actually help them, so why not just play Yoru? Well, because they don't have a player who can play. They don't have. Well, they could actually play. I guess his argument is that like Prepo could play Duelist. I think that's still mental that like on attack side to have no drone at all is inting. I think them playing Sky in the first place is inting, but it is what it is. The ISO comp suits for that so well. I don't know why I went back to Genji comp. I think that the Viper comp suits Boaster extremely well. I don't think it's very strong in this. I don't think it's as strong in this meta anymore. I still think it's viable. I think that the Viper comps, Boaster's attack side calling when he's on it is by like I think the best in the world on Haven, and I don't think it's. I think he's got a proclivity to go towards B finishes sometimes that's bad, but in general when he's not being completely, as long as people don't fully disrespect the Viper walls on A, I think his attack side calling is stupidly good. So the Viper makes sense to me. I think overall, I think that obviously I'm Fnatic. I keep saying it on broadcast over and over and over again. I said it before they lost. I would prefer to see Alpha on Judas or Chamber. I've said it so many times. I'm glad that I fucking stuck my foot in the ground early on, even when they were winning, that I said that. Because now I expect that's what they're probably going to do. I need to be more ballsy about every team, but like it was an easy call, I think. I have to go back to this fucking.
What, 3 more rounds? 3 more that T1 got after that.
Not a strong showing at all now.
Because the suppression on that undercut.
The chamber is also going to be trying to pick up the op as much as possible. Babybay's got the ult and the op, and you've got an ISO now with a shield to try to shut that.
Fight the return to those air.
But Grandmaster even
good.
I do feel sorry for Casey on some level. They're like I was quite critical because I still am quite critical of Phoenix generally on a lot of maps. But KC run Phoenix and then everyone shits on KC. And then G2 run Phoenix and everyone's like, oh my. I think it's partly the difference in American broadcast versus EMEA broadcast to some degree is that like America's broadcast is far more. I think America's broadcast is a little bit more. If the team wins, then we're going to be a bit nicer about them. Whereas an EMEA broadcast, I'm there to just shit on anyone. I don't care if you win or not. And so like, it was kind of funny seeing that because KC lost, people like Phoenix sucks, and then with G2 win 3 hours later, and everyone's like, oh, Phoenix is so good. It's just like, yeah, KC Phoenix, hello human resources. It's that meme for sure. It's like G2 run it, it's like, oh my god, Phoenix. And then KC run it, it's like, human resources. Hello, hello.
They have to come out the best that they are going to be able to come up with in a short amount of time. You know, Izu, he could be a difference maker.
Isn't it because Avas has a team flash narrative against him? He does team flash a little bit, but his Phoenix overall has been extremely good, hasn't it? Hasn't his Phoenix been like extremely good? Like, historically? I mean, I guess you could say that about any agent he plays, to be fair. He wasn't very good during kickoff. But he's playing Phoenix, so I don't know.
You're on Cypher sometimes, but you're all eyes on the Meteor, on that ISO.
Cam getting the spot.
Your time, you know, Izu, he could be a difference maker on Cypher sometimes, but you're all eyes on the Meteor, on that ISO.
Phoenix wall ready. It's kind of cool. 203. They did this last time. 2C, 3A.
So,
Cam getting the spot out on the Baby Bay there at Sewers. Leaf at the same time. Lurks in.
I mean,
Behind bricks. Will be spotted and taken down. Meteor able to find the kill. Pops the shield.
I don't really understand what's going on here.
On the Baby Bay there at Sewers. Leaf at the same time. Lurks in behind bricks. Will be spotted and taken down. Meteor.
Why did...
Cam getting the spot.
There's something weird going on with G2 here. Trent runs back to reveal here.
Cam getting the spot out on the Baby Bay there at Sewers.
I don't really understand. Is it to bait in Leaf? I don't really understand.
Lurks in behind bricks. Will be spotted and taken down. Meteor.
I don't really understand what's just happened.
Double tap now in play. Prowler takes a munch. Gets that blind immediately behind bricks. Will be spotted and taken down. Meteor. Same time. Lurks in behind bricks. Will be spotted.
Why is Baby Bay was so TP'd away? Why did Baby Bay TP? There's been no damage exchanged. Has he shot a bullet? 4, 5, 6. He has 5 bullets. He did take a shot on TP, okay.
Down Meteor, able to find the kill, pops the shield immediately, so double tap now in play. Now it takes a munch, gets that blind
Casey
through.
barely plays around the Phoenix and I win cons of the comp. I would agree with that some degree. I don't think that they like they have historically, but at kickoff they were struggling a little bit with some of the orb grab stuff, I guess.
Some damage. A minute remaining. Go ahead, pump the brakes, cut the noise. Now sprinting way across, knew the Jogamo was going to be nearby, giving them all the investment.
I still think that I think it's hard for VCT broadcast to be the subtleties of like I guess as an analyst, as long as I see comps and agents being used like with intent, like intent is like intentionality, I guess is probably the way I'd put it. I think I need to chill more on broadcast. Like if a team's doing something with intentionality, I'm okay. It's when teams do stuff, pick stuff, and then don't have any intentionality around it is when I should be my most dickhead. On stream, I think I could be a bit more like subtle about my analysis and be like, don't like Phoenix, happy to go into it. But like on broadcast, it's a bit harder to do that because the percentage difference of like actually playing Phoenix versus not playing Phoenix is probably like not huge either way. And it's more about do they play it well at that point, and it's because the other stuff's too subtle. I think. I think I need to focus more on intentionality when it comes to broadcast stuff. Happy pilled, not broadcast maxing. I don't think I should be happy pilled at all on broadcast. I think I should be as happy as I possibly can, and that will still put me at pretty depressed. But like, I think my niche is being an asshole. And then when I actually say something nice about a team, it really hits then, you know? I think when I'm praising BBL, I think it means a lot more. Don't you think it means a lot more when you actually hear me like actually saying nice things?
Looks like they're going to be investing into this one. A Stinger and a half armor into the hands of Meteor. Just that and then a bandit for Izu.
Petty Maxi.
I
think I'm nicer to teams that aren't as good as well. I definitely am not as my criticism gets more harsh the more I expect you to do good things. You know? But I do need to keep it conscious.
Double tap shield now going to be popped. Meteor immediately working his way through the window. Swinging here on the check, and Baby Bay may be seeing gun barrel a pixel out of play.
Okay, so they already have a Euro on the deepest lane possible. So I can play 4 between B and C. Meteor only has Stinger, so.
You give up this space with this comp sometimes.
Baby Bay sat here, hoping and praying that someone comes swinging into this to hand them a weapon. Baby Bay not looking likely to happen.
Should be a flash out here, you would think, for Buzz.
Has it, they spot him, take him down low, and can't get the weapon out fast enough. Valen, however,
I don't know why Baby Bay stood in the middle of nothing though. It's like again, like why? I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why he stood in the middle of nothing. It's an awkward position. I would ask. In this moment, if you're like in this position, I would probably ask Astra to come support me, and I just go back here, or I just go to here with Astra supporting me.
Out of here, you would think, from Buzz.
Has it, they spot him, take him down low, and he can't get the weapon out fast enough. Valen, however, still close by. Not going to be caught by that one, but Buzz with that Bulldog's able to find a kill. Izu finding Trent at the same time as Jogamo drops off back plat. Molly going to be layered in, but he gets completely over. Now in the hands of G2.
A little bit silly. Jog's already 1 away from ult after picking up Orb again. Oh, this round too. I saw this. They push mid. I think in this meta, if your assistant coach is doing anything other than just like looking at anti-ecos for every map, then like they're probably not getting value. Because the anti-ecos I'm seeing, again, apparently the macro, everyone knows how to play macro these days, but for whatever reason, anti-ecos just escape every team. Are you telling me that anti-ecoing like this is sound? 5 people, and then we don't hard clear this with any util? Just run across like fucking melons. Like this is apparently good macro.
Finds the first shot, leave here at window and mid.
It's mental, man.
Guns down 2. Is they looking to turn the tides and balance?
Like that's it's they don't deserve to win this game. Like they don't deserve to go into playoffs. If you're playing like that, it's fucking embarrassing.
And look at G1, and this might be just the backbreaker. That mental recovery that they had after.
I say this as someone who's probably coached a team that's like, I probably for in the Fnatic days we probably did shit like that sometimes, but I would feel genuine embarrassment. Like I would feel the embarrassment. I'd watch it and think, there's no way people think that we're good at this game if we're doing shit like that.
The closest thing we've had to a rifle round so far, but Izu does just have a sheriff.
What's the major reason for so much snowballing VCT? Well, one reason is what we just saw here. If you watch this round, it helps quite a lot when you're doing shit like this. I think I think alt economy. I know that Stiggy thinks that alt snowballing is a problem. I think it's fine. I think it's the actual economy system is slightly too snowbally. I don't think alts matter as much. I think it's this. The alts are in a pretty good spot in terms of pips right now, in terms of orbs. I think it's the economic snowballing that's more of a problem.
Now into the closest thing we've had to a rifle round.
It used to always feel brutal going 2-0 down on defense side, and now it still does. It shouldn't feel like your entire game might be decided on round 3. Who has the best anti-eco? I'd say NRG. I have no idea. Are the credit values identical? CS? I don't think so.
You can see that they want to check this sewer spot again to see, or excuse me, the garage spot again to see if there's anything.
Sideshow's on 100% pick win rate in talent predictions. It's pretty good. I wouldn't be on 100%. I think I'd be pretty high because most of the games have gone how I expected, but I definitely would have lost a couple.
There, but,
I would have lost a couple for sure.
This time. That could bait T1 into making a mistake by going through there, but instead it's a slow push up. This is going to be here.
Going out into the jump peak.
I had a feeling NRG were going to beat PaperX. Even though, logically, the NRG usually struggle against more double duelist heavy teams, and PaperX are the best at that style.
Prowler, however, will confirm his presence as curveballs go flying, but Jogamo still needing to wait for the rest of the team to try to get into position, but Buzz's curveball pushing out aggressively towards that A-Link side. Prowler,
I think I would have got everything else right, probably.
Curveballs go flying, but Jogamo still needing to wait for the rest of the team to try to get into position, but Buzz is going to be taken down first and foremost there at backside. Leaf gets the angle, gets that kill. The double face, a lot of damage.
What is he doing?
Backside Leaf gets the angle, gets that kill.
He sees 2 people, didn't he? Oh, he didn't know. Okay, he didn't see 2 people.
The Trenton Valen finding one apiece. Flushed him out off the site. Ping reveal onto one. The taps just trying to bait these shots forward.
So why did... So they went B and won. How did they go B and win?
Garage spot again to see if there's anything available there, but G2's committing extra bodies to the problem this time. That could bait T1 into making a mistake by going through there, but instead it's a slow push up. Trip's going to be here.
Going out into
the first problem is that G2 don't establish any deep line at all. I think this has been the case since 2020. On Haven, if you get a deep line on A, you're in a much better position if you don't. There's almost no reason not to go for it, I think. Chamber not going for a deep line on A, I think has fucked them up a little bit. Because then the Fade has to come back. Because we don't have information on A main, and right now we'd have full info A main, the Fade has to come back and get info back here. And because we want this garage set up, B becomes open. Where this player could literally be a B player right now if we set up the chamber deep. The fact that like teams consistently are stop it, you have a chamber Euro comp with a Phoenix. Like this comp is like, there's no reason I don't think to play this passive. Yeah.
going through there, but
Their
instead
comp doesn't have too much to deal with you.
here.
It's a little bit scared from Baby Bay,
Jump peek. Getting a spot there
in
where
my
he can meanwhile
opinion.
tackle the B site.
And so we gift the B site for free. And none of our actual good B hold agents, like a Phoenix Molly here, are actually there to help. I think Phoenix is too good an agent to be doing this, and should be up here, probably throwing his wall, flashing in, you know, ideally getting a Molly down before the plant.
It's underway.
So I think that's a little mistake too.
Stacks to have the plant. Meteor pushing out aggressively towards that A-link side. Prowler, however, will confirm his presence. As curveballs go flying, but Jogamo still needing to wait for the rest of the team to try to get into position, but Buzz is going to be taken down first and foremost there. Backside Leaf gets the angle.
The other thing is he's 1 away from ult, so if he came in, got a kill, he'd be able to just ult and run out. So the fact that he's 1 away from ult is also a decision I would actually consider in should I be this guy or this guy.
A lot of damage going to be suffered from Munchkin, eventually able to find the kill. Jogamo going to be taken down, Baby Bay dead as well. The Trenton Valen finding one apiece. Flushed him out off.
I think it's also because they're playing ISO, the chamber would have insta-TP'd anyways once the shield is popped. But the problem is that ISO isn't going to pop his shield to scale. If ISO is popping his shield to scale and you chamber TP out, you've won that exchange. I would prefer to get the ISO shield out for their scaling than to have it for the exec. So like if the ISO is always popping shield before going scaling, then sure, you can just avoid it and play passive. But that's not the case.
The site. Going back and forth now, 2-2.
Get to the NRG game already, please. Shut up, long guy. How you doing, bro? When do you guys play? Do you play... Oh, you play tomorrow. BBL. Did I watch your game yesterday? I didn't watch your game yesterday at all. It's going to be a bit more fresh. I watched a little bit of G2. Abyss and Breeze. I do like your Abyss. One of the few teams that actually have balls and play Viper. I'm good, I'm good. How's the weather? It looks like everyone seems to be liking Santiago. I've missed, like, it's annoying the events I've missed, like Toronto. I missed Berlin, but fuck, who cares about Berlin? Toronto, Madrid. I just missed the, like, nice places, I feel like. Santiago. Like, that's... I mean, I guess I technically did help a team win, but like I didn't get to go. I didn't really mind not going, but Toronto seemed quite nice. Madrid seems nice. Santiago seems quite nice. Also, by the way, what is this? These animations are crazy. Santiago's insane overall. Is it warmer than LA? Because I feel like LA was fucking boiling. Yeah, I was in Shanghai. Shanghai was alright, but we didn't really do much in Shanghai. The only thing I really remember doing was after losing, going to Hot Pot with Boaster at like 2 in the morning. And then just walking around, kind of depressed. B again. Okay, why? So this time we do get a deeper line. And we do have a Phoenix ready on B. With an ult. Why does it take so long for... I think G2 are just a tiny bit too cautious maybe on some of these rounds. So like on A, there's this like mind game almost that happens where it's like if they wall up and you got a guy here, you're almost having to like call bullshit on the other team a little bit. So T1 have, I think, wait, have we smoked ourselves off? No. T1 have smoked here and caged here. And basically you could either play 2A and just be safe, or you can call bullshit a little bit and be like, I don't think they're out, and just rotate. G2 aren't calling bullshit, they're just going to stay.
down to those crossfires,
despite
really
having
getting
someone
to go.
literally this far up.
Trip here to watch if there's a little bit of
So they're probably
bait.
going to wait for
From
this
time to
smoke
time,
to
get
disappear.
aggressive, try to
For
get
whatever reason, our Phoenix is running away. I don't really
into the
understand
opponent's
why.
spawn. This round so far,
Oh, I don't really understand what Jorg is
getting
doing.
to go.
He's gone all the way around here to go to C because he doesn't want to be caught rotating this way. But in the meantime, they know that T1 like to go B as a general game plan idea. He's missing the timing completely for a nice little ult flood.
He will from time to time get aggressive, try to get into the opponent's spawn. This round so far, being patient. Once again, T1.
Oh, I see what he's doing. He might be overcooking. He's basically thinking that because the drone's coming in, the ISO shield ult on here is now easy to get him, and so he's trying to avoid the ult. The thing that I would say, I have a question. Does anyone know if he Phoenix ulted as the ISO ulted, can he just avoid the ISO ult? I don't know how that interaction works. He could. Then I would have stayed here. I would have just stayed here, and immediately as soon as I heard a shield, I probably would have just ulted. Oh, someone said the Phoenix can win the one before their ult ends. Okay.
Against this weaker G2 buy.
So then we do see him ult here, and so he baits his teammates in. And then we get a Phoenix ult this way. The Phoenix ult is so early, like everything feels so early here because they're not actually in the site though. So ideally, yeah, I mean they're just too early. They now look a bit stupid. Meteor gets the kill. That's why we see this clone here, by the way. The reason I thought about the ISO ult is I saw clone. So this clone is obviously like it will be activated anytime they hear an ISO show because ISOs like to ult up C, you know. This is probably an anti-strat.
As well as the firepower for T1. Looks like they do want to eventually try to attack into this B site, but Jogamo deadly with that Guardian. Does get worked a little bit low.
Like what? Like I'm not being funny, guys, but how like I'm gonna reference Bonka's latest video when he was talking about the player who plays too passive. Jogamo is doing basically what I would advise you to do if you're a new player to Valorant. And that is just take as many kills as humanly possible. And look at him. 3v3, no shield, not waiting for it to reset. Running up with a flash, 10 HP now. 3v3, 10 HP, no shield. He's got a heal, he just runs at them and dies. This is how you should play ranked when you first start playing Valorant. This is not how you should be playing at VCT Santiago in a 3v3 for one of the best teams in the world.
A little bit lower and Stacks will be able to collect the kill.
I don't really understand. Like, I gotta keep saying it. Like, G2 are really trying to do their Paper Rex impression, but it's always individually. Like, I'm so confused. I'm so confused. How is that acceptable?
Players from T1 clustered together.
How is that acceptable?
Looking to attack into this C site.
Your spacing is gonna have to be good here if Valen tries
It's it's almost memeable at this point, like the what they're doing. Like it's crazy. They've added adding a little bit of aggression in here, going for some stuff that you wouldn't usually go for, fine. Going for 3 repeats when you're 19, well, going for 3 repeats and one of them you're 19 HP. After they know exactly where you are, it's like, it's actually insanity.
Here's the reposition. Should be favored in the fight and will be able to take him down. Stacks now encroaching, working his way onto this flank. Trent gets a read of it. Absolutely gorgeous. Finds him as he jumps up into the window.
In G2, Jog is the only bait they throw in. That's not true. All of their players keep making these decisions, and Jog and Baby Bait especially are. It doesn't make sense on defense to just go and int and die.
Will be able to get T1 over the line.
The community will say it's fine because they're actually winning, but it's actually absurd. That's the problem with Valorant, right? Is that you get so little time to criticize the teams whilst they're winning that by the time they've lost, the narrative hasn't been taken over that they're not playing that well. Do you know what I mean? I think that the best analysts in this game will be able to do that. Like, I think Sideshow did a really good job on the desk yesterday of highlighting that like G2 and T1 in that first map didn't actually play a great game. And I think that you need to start planting those seeds early on with a team that's winning, because if you think they're going to lose. Like, there's a very real possibility that if G2 keeps doing this stuff, they're going to lose. Like, they really are just going to lose.
I'm a little shaky on that post-plan ideology from T1.
Solo, like,
Sorry, T1.
the solo aggression when you're like 19 HP will never be good. Like, unless you're trying to bait in people, like, let's say like in Counter-Strike it's like a common thing where like you might go for an aggressive play for some info. Like you get down here, it's like an info play. And then you might play someone else in. So like let's say that like it's a hard example, but like Overpass as a map where I think like someone goes aggressive on A, they get caught, but then there's someone behind them in like a slightly just baited position, and then the attack runs in without even checking the spot, and this player gets 3 kills. There are instances where this kind of like aggression by yourself makes sense, but it's like calculated. There was no calculations on the aggression I saw there.
I'm a little, yes.
Which team has been impressed you the most strategically so far this tournament? I wouldn't even say like, I wouldn't even talk about strategy much. I think NRG have really good fundamentals. I think the General mates, generally speaking, have like fairly sound approaches.
The playbook and rethink that 3v1 advantage, but you still get the round, so
They want to get this orbit look like. Buzz have the dimensional drift online. So just set up the wall.
You attended Paris, which the problem is French. I like Paris, and I think that it's underrated. I think that Paris is one of those cities that people shit talk a lot, especially in Europe, and even the French themselves. I actually quite liked Paris. And even Alex, who said that he lived I think he grew up in Paris or like lived in Paris for extended periods, was surprised to see Paris. Like he was like, actually, this isn't the city I remember. Like this is actually like a lot nicer than I remember. So I don't know if they're like cleaning shit up for, you know, Olympics or whatever, or I don't know, but it was actually nice.
We blinded up there in the corner. The recon gonna go flying. Munchkin stacks. Simplified on a piece, and Balan cannot escape. Let's get taken down. The Nightfall still gonna be invested now at 2v4, and everybody, every flank ends up getting noted by T1.
now that's a beautiful round from T1. That is a great execute. Paranoia is going to connect. That sets up for that recon dart as well to hit back sight and push G2 into awkward positions. This is really
Does it smell? Paris didn't smell when I was there. When I was there, it didn't smell. Maybe I got lucky in the sense that I was in a particular location that was fine, and then when I did go out, it was like to, you know, nice parts of Paris or something, and maybe I got lucky.
Remember back to this composition when they used to play it, they're quite a bit better generally on the attacker side, so they got to do damage here with this composition.
Correct. Still do have that Hunter's Fury.
That's good. Will Fury have an EG style run this playoffs? I think that's the team to compare them to, honestly. In terms of like the narrative, that's a good narrative. I don't think they will, but then I didn't think EG would. So. B. The B brain rot.
Under pressure, Jogamo, however, just unable to confirm the kills, ran out of bullets in that stinger.
It's worked on anti-ego.
The Prowler cleared.
What are G2 not doing well?
When they used to play it, they're quite a bit better generally on the attacker side, so they get it a little bit open for something they haven't been.
They need to figure out this B brain rot.
Watch that mid window, kind of remembering. Okay, Izu's been in there a little.
So Munchkin has Omen ult, so we're seeing Yoru playing to defend it. I keep saying it. I liked more when there was a team who'd like put the TP here, and then would just play the Yoru A, and then if the Omen ult happened, they would take a shot and then just go back.
Maybe we can catch him stepping out a little bit.
Instead, they're just playing normal rotation TP and just hoping the Omen TPs. And so they've lost all control at the start of the round.
Forward, nobody there to make contact.
They didn't even go for Jog's ult here. I would want, like, they should be going for Jog's ult for sure, right? It's a little bit risky with the Cypher, but... Okay, nice aggression here. But why is it solo? Why are they always solo? Why is it not together? Why doesn't Astra join him?
That's where G2 is going to double stack.
Once again, we're flanking with an agent that has flood utility. Every single piece of flood utility up. And the agent that has no flood utility and can do cross map is the one flooding.
Lopped in, spot on the one. Mizu without due lead. Just not ready for that timing whatsoever. Now forward into the smoke. Meteor going to be able to take down Trent. Just not ready.
It's going to double stack.
Where are the stars? Oh, 1 star here. They started putting a star here because of the B pressure. They need a star C, they think.
Gonna try to fan out.
1, 2, 3, 4. He's got no stars left. They got nothing to hold A. And 1 smoke. And Yoru's playing alone here. If my Yoru's down here, I want to play with him in quad. Why did Fade stop? Trent just left Yoru alone, hoping that he'd get out with TP.
Just not ready for that timing whatsoever. Now forward into the smoke. Meteor going to be able to take down Trent.
We do have Phoenix flank.
Tagged up on the exit. Noted on the flank. Meteor
yeah. I mean, it's not egregious or anything. Like T1 are just kind of snowballing a little bit, but
you're going to pop the double tap and you're going to challenge him.
The irony with the China chat to me is can I make a comparison between... There's a lot of discussion recently about certain events and tournaments that orgs must play in because of money. And then at the same time, the region that actually provides the most value to Riot possible is also the region we're now saying that like should have less slots or something. It's like there is kind of like an irony or hypocrisy in that. I don't think you guys realize how much money that region brings Riot. Careful, Mini. I mean, am I really saying anything that's bad? Like, I'm saying that like the business side of Valor, like of esports, is in a rough spot, right? And the only region that actually like fucking farms is the region in which we're then saying that like needs to step up or whatever. It's kind of funny. Like in some respects, like I'm sure there's like a businessman. There's a businessman doing a business VOD review right now of Valorant, and he sat there looking at the numbers like I am, and he's like, yeah, sure, they could do better, but have you seen like, oh, these other regions need to start performing better numbers wise? Like, you know what I mean? I don't think that that's a valid excuse though. Like, I obviously there's, you know, but it is kind of funny that like there is a reality to, you know, Valorant being a business.
Just beautiful stuff there as well. Getting the ping from Izu's ult. Huge.
Oh wait, I've literally got I got a very relevant Twitch emote for this moment, don't I? That's me right there, right now, doing the fucking businessman VOD review.
Look so good. And Izu,
if China doesn't perform, they will slowly start losing viewership. I don't think so. I don't think so. It won't. I don't think it really. Any viewership they lose from that is not gonna be. It's not gonna be enough to worry about. Many Valve fans saying China's bad in VC because of lack of individual talent. Nonsense. There's enough talent in China.
You know, they've been really good at making adjustments.
I think that China has enough talent.
So I don't mind this at all. Some ability to maybe got the cosmic divide, got a lot of tools to be able to kind of make T1 uncomfortable either while they're trying to execute or while they're going for the post-plant setups. Just be a timing thing, maybe we'll see. But it's also been tough for G2 because they've been having a tough time getting Joggable, getting these
Would you say Fnatic could have been high in Santiago? It's pointless to talk about. Pointless to talk about. If what's the saying? If my nan at will should be a bike, that's pretty much what Fnatic at Santiago is.
Three to try to work with here. It will just be a ride of the wall, pushing forward, clearing Cubby. Advancing closer towards C site. Leaf here alongside Valen. Baby Bay as well, going to be rotating in.
Have you never seen that, Riv? Let me show you the clip if you've never seen that. It's a very funny clip from a British TV show. I'm surprised you don't know it.
Lovely. Fork.
Do you know? It's, if it had like ham in it, it's closer.
No.
It's closer to a British carbonara.
Oh no.
It is. No, that's true.
Oh well, fine. So I'm glad you're standing there.
Do you agree?
Yeah.
But you know what I mean.
If my grandmother had wheels, she would have been a bike. You know what? You know. You know what? You know, it doesn't make any sense what you said. It's a different recipe. It's got nothing to do with macaroni cheese. You know what?
It's pretty good.
How random is what? Can please anybody help me here in the kitchen?
Oh my God! Did he choke?
Yeah. It's a pretty good clip. Gino De Campo. British TV does slap sometimes. We have pretty good. I think we do like daytime television. I think very well. It's just shit, but like it's kind of the personalities are kind of funny.
Clear the clone, Jogamo being tracked, tagged up, taken down. Clearing Cubby.
Trying to see what's going on.
Will just be a ride of the wall, pushing forward, clearing Cubby.
We do have Phoenix already, but Joke.
Valen, Baby Bay as well, going to be rotating in.
What?
On the one. As Hunter Sphere going to be opened up. Clear the clone, Jogamo being tracked, tagged up, taken down. Munch going to be able to find him as he keeps forward. Still rough position, however, to try to get the spike planted, at least for now, but another kill's going to be found as Leaf gets displaced. Valen Baby Bay still at backside. Trent trying to flank his way through mid. Might be able to find a massive backstab onto Izu. But can he get there faster than Izu?
I'm gonna skip to attack. I'm gonna skip to attack. They don't deserve my time. They don't deserve my time. This deserves my time. Look at these guys. They didn't go long enough. You can't give me a 5-second dance. Is that Sir Mezzo? Who is this?
For the moment, the crowd looking a hell of a lot more lively.
What are these?
Than both of our teams, depending on which map you look at. T1 waking up after that freeze. G2 right now. He put the ringer on Haven.
Yeah, I probably will skip second too, but let's see. I was gonna see like how did G2 start playing a good attack side.
Saw on a lot of those executes. Baby Bay will be facing a stack.
G2 have been favored overall so far in the pistols. We'll see if that can continue here. Baby Bay just with the
Doctor Who is awesome. Doctor Who isn't really the kind of TV I meant. I meant more like shitty daytime telly, like you know, like crappy fucking I don't know, studio TV, you know, like they're in a studio doing crap. I was never big on Doctor Who, but the funny thing is I thought Doctor Who was for nerds. Like I'm like the biggest nerd ever, so I probably would like Doctor Who, I guess.
Does manage to make his exit. Exchange on both sides and player advantage T1. Another rescale forward. Leaf instantaneous with a headshot. Exchange on both sides and player advantage on here.
Sorry, so Isu, it's a 3-stack. It's got the stack. Isu,
Just with the one headhunter shot.
nice little push down.
It's not going to be able to make it count. Get some damage.
On a stack on a pistol, this is dangerous, but it works. How does their hold look so shit here? They just dry peek into sewers when they got shield up. So nice from Meteor. And then Stacks has no HP. So they just walk into nothing. Munchkin blinds his teammate. Stacks does hit 2 shots. 3v2 now with a flank. These two, I wouldn't hate these two just leaving. And then having this guy slowly make his way up depending on the timing. Instead, they go for a one and done, and then this guy has to try and protect. It's not the worst with this smoke. There's now more pressure on this guy to start going because these two could easily be in trouble. So he has to kind of go quicker, but he stops and stalls. They just risk that like these two can handle. They get past him. Munchkin takes a one-on-one for absolutely no reason in a 3v2 and dies. And then Trent on 3 HP has to make a play. He hears some footsteps and rewraps him. Okay. Okay. Terrible.
Be telling yourselves if T1 can build up a win streak like that, get the scoreline they did, we can absolutely do the same thing. Pause for now, just the
That should be someone should make a montage of like untraded frags at this event. Solo individual untraded frags. It is pathetically poor. I'll be honest, I'm kind of happy with how EMEA are playing, considering. Like, I don't think EMEA are doing that much. And so, at least, I'm, you know, that's okay.
Just gonna go for the check-in here. Big Bay actually able to find the shot. Cleans one up, Stacks arriving from Baby Bay.
T1 have a tendency to never play retake unless they're forced to. I mean, that's what Sideshow used to talk about when it came to Bangkok last year and stuff.
Taken low, but not taken down. G2.
Which team plays the best with traded frags? It's not. It's more like teams are just, for whatever reason, people think it's acceptable now to do solo peaks constantly, and solo walk into positions. And it's not acceptable. If you showed me this Valorant, and I would presume it was 2020 Valorant, some of it, like Munchkin in a 3v2 taking a duel here is like the kind of shit that we'd see in 2020. Like in 2021 at Reykjavik, I was genuinely kind of like I'm really happy and proud of what we did at that event. But ultimately there were times in which we were playing and I felt a little bit embarrassed by the lack of fundamentals. And I thought that it was kind of like, this is the first time we're showing it to the big stage in the world. And if anyone's watched Counter-Strike before and watches this, they're probably going to be like, what the fuck are they doing? And I was really scared that afterwards I was going to come home to like a bunch of comments about how bad Valorant was. But then I realized that like no one had really noticed that like the fundamentals weren't very good. And like it's now looking like that again in the specific instances, and again, this isn't about the meta overall. I don't want this to become like a clip farm session, but in the specific instances where players are making decisions in like advantage situations, it's starting to look a little bit like 2021 again. When I was coaching Fortnite players, like it's strange.
Consideration. We'll now go for the plant.
I think what Pansy said is kind of insightful, like I said earlier. Like, she was saying that like the fundamentals seem to have gone out the window a little bit. What seems to be the issue. And I would agree that like some teams are playing with some very fucked up fundamentals right now.
Suspect he might be the one to go in and try to
swap the weapons, yeah.
Okay, yep.
Allow for
I'm just hoping if I'm getting clip farmed, it's at least got context of what I'm trying to say. And not just like, Mini hates the meta. It's like, this isn't anything to do with the meta. Like, this meta is encouraging people to play aggressive. It doesn't give you a free excuse to play like a fucking idiot, you know what I mean? And if I catch EMEA teams playing like that, I'm going to be going wild on broadcast.
A big turn there. A little overdo his Beno, just throwing out the vulnerable early, but it's all just a bit of a ruse here from T1.
I just want to develop fundamentals. It's not that hard if you're a professional team to know in a 3v2 you don't peak solo. It's not, you know what I mean? How to develop them? I don't know. You work with a coach over an extended period of time and you work together on it. It's not like, it's something you have to do in a professional structured environment, basically, or organized structured environment. It's not something that I'm going to be able to help you with in like, with a 10-second response on stream. I think it's hard to play fundamentals when you play against people who aren't using them. Anti-flash doesn't feel as safe. You could be walked in on, but breeds less fundamental play altogether. I don't think it's that deep, Riv. What I'm saying is, in very, very simple situations, i.e., we're in a 3v2, I don't think it's that hard to say that a player shouldn't play solo and go and take a duel and accept a duel that's a 1v1. I'm not even going that deep. Like, I'm just saying that, like, the basics of FPS, the actual just basics of FPS, the fundamentals of FPS are being not applied in a lot of these like situations. In advantage situations and positional advantage situations, people aren't playing sound. Like, there's a lot of teams at this event that have started, like G2 are egregious for this. In this VOD, like, it's been egregious. The amount of times that they solo make plays when there's no sense to make them solo. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Even in like 5v5s, we're seeing like G2 on Breeze, like solo flashing through a smoke when there's like an Astra. Like Valen is next to Babybay, and Babybay just running through a smoke by himself. Or on an exec, Julgamo just goes off and paths by himself and goes for a duel by himself. And I'm like, I don't really understand. This isn't how PaperX play. Like, sometimes PaperX will do dumb shit. They will do some dumb shit. But, like, they don't do it across every situation. Their thought isn't let's go aggressive no matter what. It's let's go aggressive together no matter what. Which is subtly a big improvement. Like, right now I'm seeing G2 basically say, let's go individually aggressive no matter what. And T1 for some extent, in some of these situations. It's rough. Now T1 have opted for Cypher A. I'll be honest, Cypher A, I never thought Cypher A was a very good idea. I think it's particularly bad when trips literally don't let you kill off of them anymore. You have to be a savant of like spamming trips. Like, as soon as a trip gets broken, you have to be able to spam immediately and be very good at spamming for it to work. And so you're giving up all of A control, and the opponent can then, with all that A control, can pivot and push and pull against you, or just walk onto A site for free. And that's what we're going to see from G2 here. Is solo Cypher A ain't going to do shit. Especially against a Yoru. Like, Yoru could just clone through. So a free A site. Now, one of the hardest sites to retake in the game for T1. Is this their anti-bonus round too? Playing Cypher A anti-bonus? Is it round 15? This is pretty bad macro decision. A terrible game plan decision, honestly.
From Jogamo holds them back at connector for now. Curveball looking for that timing. It's going to be easier.
You can't retake this site easily. You got the choices: tiny choke point or jumping out of a window that doesn't allow you to shoot your gun. It's not any. It's very bad. So the snowball starts from T1 playing Cypher A. Yeah, anti-bonus was Cypher A. I think this is egregious macro, to be honest with you.
Gonna look like in the Coinbase winning condition, and yeah, you know, it's a smattering. It's heavy pistol focus going for some of these sheriffs. The Meteor, considering
there should be a McDonald's slide down from A Heaven. That would actually imagine you had an agent that could do that. An agent's ability that was like, it gave you, that would be cool. It gave you like a ramp. We should have a Fortnite character that like allows you to build, like, fuck Sage Walls. That's living in 2020. We're now gonna build ramps and slides, and maybe even like jump pads.
On the pistol, I don't think he popped the double tap when...
Don't give them ideas, bro. We're in this kind of meta. That's what we're doing now. You can mine the walls for materials. Yeah, you can, like, all of these breakable walls. You can, if you break them as this agent, you get materials to build more stuff. So like instead of farming orbs, you're farming the breakables on the map. So like you basically need to farm this and this. That'd be pretty good. It would be terrible for it would be terrible, but it would also be fun. It could be a fireman pole too, but then you could shoot 100% accurate off of it. I was thinking that you could have like an you know, like the Incredibles, there's the character, the girl character that has the little orb where she like protects her family or whatever. I was thinking you could have that too. This is a different idea. This isn't the material agent. I was thinking like, imagine you could like drop from heaven with like a sphere where you're all like invulnerable for like 3 seconds, but you can't shoot out of it. But then it's just too OP. Like imagine entering a site with a fucking orb that makes you invulnerable for 3 seconds.
With the sheriff in garage. Munchkin.
Harbor smoke. That's not. No. Do you think this meta is bad? I think this meta. I'm annoyed that we didn't get to continue the champs meta vibe. I think the champs meta vibe was better. But all in all, in terms of like, I don't want to be so doomer about it because people are like arguing about it a lot, but like, my concern is that we continue this level of low utility density and we continue to have double duelists dominate pro play, and then we continue to have ranked be a shit show. I think that's my main concern. I don't mind this meta in terms of like if it's a nice little refreshing in between break and we go back to like something different after. But unfortunately, I think that it's an active effort to have far less utility in the game. And I don't think I think that utility was already at its lowest point at champs anyway, and there was a lot of diversity at champs. I liked the diversity that champs had. That's basically what I'm trying to say. And I liked in ranked that you wouldn't get flamed if you didn't play double duelist and like chamber clove. Like you might have been able to play some agents that actually made sense for you as a player to have fun outside of just joining people.
Starting to get uncomfortably close to T1.
Well, this is starting to almost feel like a must-win round for T1 already.
Not ropes, but like a zip line agent. Have you guys ever seen like Quake? Like Quake, was it Quake 2 that had like the ropes that you could swing from? I know Athena in Quake Champions has that, where you can like swing across maps. Like Pathfinder, yeah, a bit like Pathfinder. But Pathfinder is like you put the rope down. I'm thinking more like, let me try and show you Athena from Quake. Because like you could do Pathfinder, but you could also do let's just see. Let's watch a good Athena player. Queen of Jewel. Let's see if See if he quickly.
Fight.
One sec. Yeah, watch. You see? I've never seen someone do movement like that, to be fair. That's kind of crazy, but imagine that. Imagine Neon and fucking Athena. And this would be crazy. that what he just did is way harder than it looked. I've never seen someone do it like that before, to be fair. Where he's like off map, coming back into map. Fast Phoenix ult. G2 using ults on attack side is a good sign.
Back will just have him exit, Buzz at the same time, able to find one with that operator. Jumps away over towards the spawn, and Izu still going to be alone here on the site for the moment. Cam goes out, spot on to 3. Once again, watching for a late lurk as Izu is just burning alive.
I think Sideshow. I think I was watching the podcast they have, and I think Sideshow's hit the nail on the head already with the meta. Like I think he likes the meta, but one of the issues is the Duelist teams, all the double Duelist teams are going to dump their util into sites, and then they have no util for post plant. So this is something that I've been saying. It's like you either want to hard hold very, very hard and strong with like multiple players, or you give up the site, you bait out all that util, and then you just fast retake. He was arguing that Paper X are doing the latter, i.e., they're not heavy on site at all, and they'll just fast retake you after with you got no util, you got those util. The problem is we're seeing instances like this a lot. We have a solo Cypher in a 5v4 making the decision to try and hard hold this site. And like, it doesn't make sense. I mean, it's not like he has been overwhelmed with util here, but still, it still just doesn't make sense. Like, no, like, the idea of retake, like, Flood meta became really popular in 2024, 2025. And I think now people need to make a much more conscious effort on defense as to whether they want to hold or not. They need to stop going for weak side holds that this stubbornly. Especially if they're playing against like a Waylay or Neon. Like, why do you want to like give them the easy option of just killing you and winning the round immediately? Either fight them as a unit. Just you fight them as a unit on the site, or fight them as a unit after. Like, you have to fight as a unit. You can't expect individuals to just shut down entire XX. We've known this since like 2021, by the way. Like, we've known, like, at least my team knew that, like, if you're playing Cypher back here and they've got a breach and an omen, they're gonna be fucking you up with all this util. Wait for that util to come out. Like, the Cypher shouldn't be trying to hard hold this every time. Sometimes go for it, sometimes don't. And then once we've baited all that util out and they've used everything for the site, that breach comp has nothing, we can just retake. It's kind of gone full circle on that a little bit.
To find it through the garage. Again, we talked about the problems that G2's comp can have with only
I think Paper X could play Waylay. I think that comp works with Waylay. I think some of the reasons for the Phoenix is that, like, it counters the Gen G stuff a little bit easier. Like, you can just flash through all the walls and shit, you know? And then, of course, Jing is probably far more comfortable on Phoenix.
Having their economy broke. 11.
Affair.
Oh, hello. I mean, should basically be screwed from here.
Anti-eco. I'm gonna presume this is a round win.
Staring in towards sewers. Meanwhile, Meteor.
Now we see Meteor walking down middle with an ult. The ult usage, I think the two things that I hate the most about this meta, not about this meta, about teams right now, is ult usage is very poor. And the advantage situations, well, okay, three things. Advantage situations are played quite poorly. And then the third thing is the defense. The way that defense is played in terms of like only holding, like hold only, is like the only like option that teams seem to have right now. I think that the ult usage is clearly like right now, Meteor's walking down middle with an ult. There's no way that's that's not good. You know what I mean? He ain't gonna be able to get his ult off from bottom of middle. Advantage situations like 3v2s. And then the idea on defense that people have forgotten how to play like retake ever. And I don't think the teams that have never played for retake should be struggling a little bit more in this meta. If teams start to actually consciously think about the ways they want to hold sites or not hold sites, I think they're gonna have a lot more fun against the double duelist. Meteor gets away with not having any idea what to do with his ult.
Exit will be respotted. No, he hasn't seen him quite just yet. Prowler going out onto the corner, but the shot ends up going wide. And stays alive. Jogamo have that ult expire in the meantime.
Alone Vow's waiting to clip me. Doesn't he actually get me loads of viewers though? Doesn't he? Doesn't his channel get loads of viewers? Like I might just pay him to start clipping so I could post the clips.
Finding Leaf, but can he win out the fight? The walls falling, the shield broken.
I'm not joking either. I've been talking with him.
As they have to retreat, they have to scramble and save.
You're here from Alone Vow.
T1 are getting absolutely massacred on this defending half.
This is such an off event for Meteor. I said it earlier. I think that Meteor is not playing incredible, but I do think in a lot of positions he's being asked to do a lot. Don't pay me, never ask. I would prefer that those views are on my own platform, I think. You know what I mean? Right now, he's basically just stealing my viewers. My views. Like, if I had that on my own platform, then I could be able to, like, use those views to actually, you know... Like that HelloFresh money, I want that HelloFresh money, you know what I mean? If I got some shorts popping off, I got like, what have I got right now? 550 stream, 1,000 concurrent between the two platforms, I think. Bro, that HelloFresh money is gonna be coming in.
And it's just wild to think that, you know, both timeouts invested so early on for G2.
If you're right, how would you change the meta by nerfs or buffs? I think I would revert some of the initiator changes, and I would start nerfing some of the duelists. Meteor's pretty sick at the start of the event. I still think the
beautiful awareness in the beginning of that round from G2 as well, where they're just
I just worry takes some of your context for clickbait and it gets some bad rep. I don't really like the thing is I will never watch a clip of myself, and so it doesn't bother me. I don't care. Like ultimately, like you know, like people love Stoic for like. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to do it. You know, like Stoic philosophy. I'm gonna have to do a Stoic philosophy, like a philosophy part. It's Stoic philosophy. Like one of the core tenets about like what you can, like it's all about what you can and can't control, right? And reputation is one of the core things that they believe that you cannot control. I can't control the way people perceive me or the ways in which I am perceived or people clip me or put me out of context. So why should I care? As long as when I speak, I'm happy, and when the people around me, like here, when I'm talking to people, that like I'm given the fair, it's like a fair exchange or whatever. Like I'm fine. Like I don't care if like a bunch of idiots are like taking me out of context or something. Thank you, Duke. Thank you for the sub. I appreciate it.
Against this composition, and that's exactly what Meteor tries to do, and it's just
as long as like my people know the truth about myself and like I'm able to express myself with my people, I don't really care about the rest of, you know.
Enough to get rifles across the board at the very least here for T1, but the economy
Marcus Aurelius.
If they lose this round.
I talked about Xeno. Is it Xeno? Or Epictetus? I think the only Stoic book I've read was Epictetus, I think. I couldn't read Marcus Aurelius. I was bored, to be honest.
Get much util out of T1 on that. I think think that was a bit of a bait to try to see if they could.
You're watching from a
wear
lone
Boy
valve
out
too?
and get the cross
Okay.
cut through or the uppercut, and it didn't happen. So great patience being shown there by T1.
Shut up, Bug.
If they lose this round.
I think it was Epic Jesus.
Well, Munchkin line it up, Prowler scouts.
Yeah, it was.
No real aggressive scale for it, though, from G2, so we'll not be able to find the punish there.
They didn't get much util out of in tatters if they lose this round.
Why does Meteor leave this line?
Well, Munchkin line
Oh, they think it's a B, and so they just immediately rotate and leave the A line.
up, Prowler scouts.
Why fade instead of Sova and Haven? I intuitively, generally on attack side, because we're in a lower util meta, Fade actually is able to supplement the fact that you have lower util, because she has one more thing than Sova does. So on attack sides in general, Fade can give you a slight bit more options in case you kind of have used a drone, you know? So that's one reason on attack side. Irrespective of map. There are some things Sova does very well on this map on attack, like the deep recons are pretty good. But like, ultimately this comp doesn't really dive anyway. So like doing deep recons on C and like slamming C isn't really a strength of this comp anyway. Defensively, I think we could go into specifics a little bit. I think you're going to see your recon player playing A, right? And a big job of your recon player on A is getting back information. And I think that the Sova drone just simply isn't that good from, like, if you were to drone from, like, here or here for, like, long or short, it doesn't really give you enough information, in my opinion. Like, let's say, like, Sova was here. Let's say we got no information, and everything here is a question mark. If you drone short, you could basically say, okay, everything here is okay. For about 2 seconds, if you don't have someone follow it, then after about 2 seconds, then you know that nobody's here. Because there could be someone hidden here, 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 here. They could be up long. They could just walk back down short. And on long, the same thing can happen. They could just be hidden here or here. And then they could be all the way down here too. They could be anywhere down here. And then 2 seconds after that drone, they could come back out. And then you've got nothing. You have your recon left, maybe. And maybe you could throw a recon, a nice little cheeky recon that nobody really does to like try and clear out all these spots. But it's a bit difficult. And so with Fade, you have just that one extra thing to like, you know, the Prowler doesn't do as good a job at seeing deep into these spots, but it kind of does the same kind of job, really. Like you can clear this spot out, you can clear this spot out, and kind of make a guess that you're safe for a little bit, you know? It gives you like a little bit of info, but it gets you more consistent info.
Aggressive scale forward, though, from G2.
And then fundamentally, the A fights I think are easier with Fade Seize. Like you can just seize that and then have a nice little scrap. Seize to hold chokes is kind of cool. The thing you miss is like cross map recons and shit like that.
They didn't get much util.
And then drones are better for hard retaking, I would say too. But in general, I think it's like pretty. It's a little bit easier to play with Fade, I think, in terms of like, if you want to take a lot of map control and information, it's easier with Fade. If you prefer more brute forcing, which is probably what most teams want to do, then Sova's probably better. And most teams probably would play better with a Sova than a Fade, to be honest. I think Sage is quite hard to actually counter the double dive, but I think Deadlock has value. It's a bit harder than said than done, though, I think.
Well, there's a big one. In that op shot. Bringing out right through the garage doors, Buzz. He's got himself tucked in alongside this one, but it's just a Guardian in hand.
Do you have any immediate examples of how to deal with ooping when you pick Fade on Haven? Attack side, I don't really know what you mean. It depends what your comp is, too. You just have to, like, against any AWP in this battle, you have to just be jiggle peeking a lot and jumping and shit, and then like using Prowlers effectively. I can't really give you specific examples. If you have an Astra as well, then you also have dissipates, right? So yeah, we see the B flood from... Ah! Is this another round? Oh no, so then they reset. Meteor gets a deep line again. We get a slight fake reclear, and then Meteor just gets to push up for free, and they go B again. I don't love this B obsession on this map is kind of crazy. It's the easiest site to retake, I think, in the game. It's pretty easy to hold if you want to. The problem is that I think what happens is that this is what happens. Teams try to play it like it's a normal site and play like kind of weird half holds and then just die. They have a flank. They have an easy flood in if they want to. There's no need to like actually fight this heavy. It's very silly.
Player advantage here in their hands. Buzz manages to have the flash connect. Cleans up a second. Balin gonna be taken down.
Despite all the mistakes, it's still a close round.
There's a ping reveal off the neural depth, and it is just Trent. Spike planted into his favor. Low on bullets. Gets rerouted. Has eyes on this position. He has been so damn instrumental for G2 on this map. Does he have the clutch?
Oh god, he's won.
Izu dead. Meteor on the other side. Taps the defuse. The flame.
It's kind of crisp.
The Red Bull clutch. Trent is unbelievable. He demolishes.
Isn't Fade usually better any for fast, aggressive pushes due to the dog being fast to clear angles? It depends. Like, you can argue that, like, some of the ways that the Fade works with the Neon, for example, allows the dogs to join the Neon. But at the same time, you can, like, the recons from Sova, like, you can drone in and then Neon burst. You don't have to Neon, you don't Neon wall and then use the drone and then, like, slowly scale up. And then the recon can be used quite deep with the Neon. So it's like both have the Sova recon, sorry, not the Fate, you know what I mean? So both have value in that style. I know that like Danby in like 2024, I think was doing a lot of like following Prowlers, which is kind of a cool concept. I think it just depends on your preferred style at that point. I think if you're like Yoru Wele, the Sova makes more sense, I think, to me. If like your style is just all in aim.
Great angles being taken by Trent. An attempt with the outlaw. Not gonna connect for Baby Bay. Meteor just takes no damage at all, so.
When is Viper viable on Haven? If you have a team that really understands Viper and Haven, then I think Viper that's when it's viable. I think most teams right now playing Viper aren't very strong with Viper.
Leaf pushing, but suspicious of this, and will be able to survive.
Okay, just Eco.
Miraculous and impressive this has been from G2. It's not
Deep
over,
line for T1 again.
certainly knows that.
The B hits, like, I'm not being funny. If you lose in this, like, I can't believe B hits are actually.
Looking like a quick hit into the B side against the buy of T1. Meteor, however, pushing forward, is able to
It shouldn't be.
kill.
You shouldn't be having a problem against the B hit. It's because people are dying fighting solo. If they just threw the smoke down and fought together, they should be fine.
Pushes forward past the wall, but he doesn't disconnect back through it. He overstays.
It's so silly. We shouldn't be solo dying. Solo dying, you know?
Crazy stuff to get them back into this one, but has to make his exit. The space now given over to the plant can come through. As Buzz is forward onto the site with an operator in hand, certainly not the weaponry you would like to see, but he's going to pivot. It seems like Baby might have caught close to Munchkin. He heard him.
I remember watching this. He didn't see him.
Suspicious of it. At the same time, though, the double push. In the backside, Munchkin Finds the one. The catch is there. Win.
Shoot, chasing that prowler. Izu going for the hero, and that's got time. On A with the shotgun, so this is him trying to change positions, change ideas. Vulnerable though, not doing him any favors because it hits the clone of
space.
It's been a little bit longer than they maybe would like, so Buzz is going to be back in
G2
this way here. Smoke through, so they want to try the other side of the map, but reinforcements are already moving this way here. Smoke through already. Kind of have to commit. They're here.
Why do they know it's C?
That push and pull on the map.
It's a bait, but reinforcements are already. They're here or be here.
The way on this very.
Therefore, G. That's true. Make Jaws.
G2 gonna B like every round, and for whatever reason, this line, they know it's a C this time.
Never mind. He finds a headshot.
Is it just because G2 only go B when they start B? Like, is it that simple? Oh, they didn't open mid this round, they're not going B.
The shoulder to start. Now looks to backpedal, but Izu here in the corner, able to strike. Jogamo gonna be taken down.
Strange.
Clear the gate crash.
T1 getting this line a lot meant that they were in a lot of favorable positions to win the game, but decided to hard hold B with solo flooding. I think that was the problem this game. I think if T1 yeah, if T1 knew what they're doing on defense on B, they probably should have won.
Plays often forget about. Oh my god.
Leaf saw. It's a good ult by Leaf.
Goes in with a dimensional drift calls. Yeah, guys, there's gonna be 3 in window. Start pushing into A. Op has now been located. It's located again.
Was he about to silence his teammate?
Guys, there's gonna be 3 in window. Start pushing into A.
He was about to silence his teammate. If Buzz was about to get silenced, that wasn't it?
Op has now been located. It's located again.
I IRL dodge flashes sometimes, yeah.
Dimensional drift available now for Buzz. Looking to lead the charge of C's. Gets a grab on the one. Molly. There, trying to
Hey, Mr. RG.
Buzz makes his exit, but Baby Bay has got him from behind. The Stinger in range still. Able to close out the kill. There's no rid of that one whatsoever. Joggermo now storming forward. Stacks dead. He's out for blood, and he will be rewarded with it.
Okay, I gotta be honest. I'm not gonna watch OT. I'm not gonna watch OT. I think 24 rounds is enough. I think the summary is this B site's become like Haven's got a problem in the pro meta right now where like people are obsessed with B for sure, and teams have gotten how to defend it or play around a team going B. Yeah, I think that's the main problem. I think that we should see the better Haven teams, the BBL, G2, not G2, the BBL mates, Paperx, NRG. I'm hoping these 4 teams kind of, and then maybe Nongshim, maybe, because they got a good Haven record right now. Maybe they should be teaching some of these teams Haven in the bracket. Anyway, NRG NRG PPL, what am I doing? NRG Team Liquid. I mean, NRG's Haven has some problems with the U2 and shit, but yeah. I'd hope that they'd be able to defend a B, you know. Okay, Breeze, Kiko and Jet. He's gone from the neon to the Jet, and we're gonna see him pop off. One sec. Yeah, Nongshim winning the tournament. I think that's fair. I think it's a fair assessment. One second. Okay. Am I gonna watch the Paper X game later? Nope. I only watch VODs after in the morning. I always VOD review the morning after.
When they're trying to kind of reinvent themselves, right? The issue was that the switch up just never came. Really, for me, it's easy to sit here and say Miniboo needs to do better on some of these aggressive plays, but if that's being called by Nats, actually, somebody needs to call a breather, tell them to slow down and take stock of the situation.
So they're just talking. So Hypoca Pansy just talking there about Team Liquid's defense, kind of aggression with Miniboo. I think the way that I would frame it is that it's not Miniboo. They created a game plan and a style on defense to make them play like this hyper aggressive defense that was almost like super one-dimensional. It made sense on Pro to have a one-dimensional attack side because it's a map that they're not very good at and they're just throwing in a new comp. On maps like Bind, where they're picking it, it's very strange to see a one-dimensional, let's push every fucking round kind of game plan. I would never put the problem, like, it would never be an individual player being like, oh, I want to push here, I want to push here, I want to push here. Like, in Team Liquid, the way they're setting up these rounds are very structured. They're very, like, set rounds, you know? It's a very set, it's a game plan. It's like it's their playbook, like,
Let's find out how this looks.
why? The reason why is because I will get 3 times less viewership, and I won't be able to yap and slowly analyze the game. And I'm not particularly good at reacting to stuff. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and be like, whoa, Forsaken with the 3K, nice, woo. Like, that's not me, you know what I mean?
Into the first, it would be Team Liquid on the attack and NRG waiting with 3 on the defending side, top mid.
Go here. We spotted out, Nats. Try and make progress here as Liquid. Go here.
NRG.
Somebody needs to call a
1-3-1. Viper will this way to make it feel like Viper's A, but he's playing B.
breather, tell them to slow down and take stock of the situation.
Mostly going to be keeping track of NRG here a bit, because they're obviously the team that we're going to be watching for the rest of the tournament. Huge Sheriff buys. This very strong pistol idea. Sheriff's very good.
Go here. We spotted out, Nats.
Mada has early info. Team Liquid's default here is starting to do a little bit more of what I would say is good in terms of mid. I think it's a bit weird that they got a very weird strat here where they're like using the mid pressure to walk into B. But I want to see in later mid default rounds if they're going to be actually using... They're actually going... clearing the question marks properly, it looks like, maybe.
Try and make progress here as Liquid.
But for whatever reason, they're using the timing here to go hyper aggressive. But there's no timing. Like, what they need to do... The irony here is they've pushed players off into this angle.
We spotted out, Nats. Try and make progress here as Liquid.
Kind of funny. That drone made them dial B.
Yeah, this is a tough start, and again, I do want to see.
I get the idea though.
Very important to do. Again, if you look at what, I don't know if he quite saw.
No.
I mean, but he's in such a great position.
Now here's it.
However, cameras checked this. Ooh,
Now here's it.
I don't know, like there isn't a nice spot to like hide when you've pushed A anymore. You know what I mean? Like I'm so bad that like I probably could make timing pushes sometimes, but there's no like easy, like you can't, if you stand here they might just hard clear, you know what I mean? Like there's no nice box to stand behind, you know what I mean?
However, cameras checked this. Ooh,
Why enter without smokes? Because they're baiting, like they're trying to find a pick, an unexpected pick. They're making this feel like a mid default where they're just defaulting. And so that it means that there's going to be probably just one player here that they can walk in and try and fight. If they start smoking this, it's going to be obvious that they're going into B, right? They're just trying to make the timing not feel obvious. This player might be looking away. He might be over here. There might be a timing to walk in. They're trying to create a timing in which these two players can get a duel.
Was working on that, I guess, checkmate information.
And that's also walks up.
Also was
I don't like what Nats does here. I remember watching this round yesterday. He goes up, gets a kill. It's a 4v3. Why would he now walk back into middle?
Progressing forwards. Nats will be here to greet NRG in mid.
Does he get to slip in?
They could easily be here. They could easily be here.
The smoke's just
And then he just
dropped,
dies.
and he does get caught by
I don't really understand what he's trying to
a
do.
little bit deeper. Papo!
I don't know if it's this idea that like they want more of this control in their post plant, so that they like. There's like two places that like the defense. The two deeper places are here and here in their post plant, right? Like sometimes you're gonna see teams fight up here, and sometimes you see teams fight here. Maybe they got this whole game plan of like, we're gonna take this space a lot to help with our post plant, so there's only like this direction that we have to worry about, and then we can watch it from multiple directions. Maybe. I'm planting that seed now to see if that's true later. Surprise reposition. It's hardly a surprise reposition though, because there could easily just be a lurker here, and they're going to be hard clearing everything here anyway. In advantages, you don't need to make a surprise reposition solo player. Oh, I remember this. I actually watched a little bit of this game. So nice spit here to deny this drone, and this is foreshadowing something later from what I remember.
Story of this event so far has been
There's some foreshadowing here.
And playing
so nice little and then what that means is that like they don't want to go here, they're going to re-explore here. And NRG are set up really nicely to deal with the reposition from the attack. So they have people ready here, classics. And then if they came up here now, there's two people watching. This isn't the foreshadowing. Foreshadowing for a later round, by the way. But like a nice little idea for energy. They use one spit this round, and it gets them a lot of value. Ultimately, it gets cleaned up, but like they put themselves in a position to win that, just because of that spit.
They're going to try and play an off angle here. Matter again posturing up.
They're so happy.
They're going to try and play. See anything to convert.
Orb and smoke here. I don't really understand what. This doesn't really help you do anything. You're orbing and smoking. It's a little bit strange. I guess it does allow you to walk through, but then again, like the problem with this smoke is it just continues to let the defense control all of the space, and then just get flanks onto you constantly. It lets them. It helps them almost. Matter goes for it. It's crazy.
Trade for camo to not let middle basically fall into the hands of NRG, but it's going to spur on the site here.
Nice shot from Kiko.
Again, they are working with a couple of bulldogs here. Sheriff
and then this is what I love to see. I said this earlier. Push out on B for the flank. When you see a lot of people A, it's really nice from Scuba.
Might just catch Miniboo on the corner. Spotted here. They can run him down.
Yeah, and I think they're going to give it a try. Miniboo. Oh, he's still not landed the shot though. Scuba, you're not meant to
GG.
win that.
I know Scuba hits both these shots. It's quite nice.
I'm just so excited to see this kind of like Nats, Ethan head-to-head. I think they're both great.
No, just waiting. Team Liquid's default now is just waiting.
It still suits them somehow both.
Do nothing. This is what we call a do nothing default.
He's done to be able to bring this roster up to this level already is incredible. But again, on the other side, you don't normally see
when people talk about Fnatic, they sometimes talk about them as if they do this a lot. We did this a lot on anti-ecos and alt rounds. But we'd only do it for like 20 seconds. Whereas Team Liquid have done it for like the whole round so far. Drone it. They have no drone anymore to go B, but they're gonna go anyway. Orb goes down and now they'll burst.
And Brock now noted that's pretty big. They do bide their time. There we go.
What has happened on the map so far? So Euro has control here, so Omen should go this way. Check goes this way. It's gonna be 3B because the Euro TP. For whatever reason, Ethan starts going this way because they think it's an A. Okay. The timing's weird here. And now because he's so far away, he couldn't use this timing.
their time. There we go. Miniboo towards site. Great reveal. That is great utility usage. As Miniboo wants to try and work off that. But Scuba still holding his ground. And Marder never going to let it slip. It's down to Purple and Miniboo. And they are surrounded.
That's a great recovery by Purple and Miniboo.
Miniboo at this point. He was quick to this.
Yeah, this reposition by Miniboo is quite nice. But this is the round I was thinking about. So Scuba has his spit out ready to stop the drone. But look what Team Liquid do instead. He got the spare ready for the drone. Oh shit. I need to spit here. Scuba makes a good choice of spitting close. It's very good. But Team Liquid just fully disrespects it. And just fuck him up completely. Like, I like the mind game here. Like, I don't know if it's good to go through this spit and orb. Like, usually I'd be like, why are they going to throw a spit and an orb? But they're so quick on it. Does Miniboo even touch the spit? He does. 1 tick. 2 ticks. But he's not... Is he not vulnerable here? He doesn't look like he's... Oh, for fuck's sake. He should be vulnerable, right? Yeah, I think he was. He was before he slid. Under the cam says vulnerable. Huh? It wore off as he slid in. That's crazy. The vulnerable timing isn't that good, is it? The vulnerable timing isn't actually that good. So the decision from Miniboo to path this way and then come back was actually very good. I just kind of like it. It kind of was funny to see the kind of micro mind game of like, you know, he's got a good Scuba's got a good protocol here, but something about Team Liquid going this aggressive in that manner just looked really nice. Like full B site for free now. What I don't like from Team Liquid here is, I think on this B approach you need to have window to contain flank, because if defense comes flank here and you don't have window, it's really difficult. If you give the defense the option of coming like here and here for flank, I think you're fucked. So like they got 5 here, and then Yoru has the elbow priority. So it comes down to literally a 1v1 right now. Mada gets the... Yeah, so now Mada has full control of flank. And so like Team Liquid are completely like shut in now. If I'm Nats, I probably just want to get out at this point, but then it's weird. Purple has an ult, but it's not going to be good because he's not in a good position to ult. The Camo feels like he has to push up. They know flank is happening. And so they feel like they have to push, and then it's just an easy kill for Brock.
Yeah, that was risky. But Miniboo still put in some work here.
No way Miniboo actively took that pathing to get rid of the vulnerable. I have no idea why he took that pathing, but he went like this. I think it's because he saw Scuba.
A lot of damage taken for Marder.
He's on a stinger as well.
Okay, so how did they actually clean this up in the end? It's because Miniboo pushed up 2 and traded. So a nice decision here from Team Liquid to go aggressive because of this flank. But ideally you just want someone holding, I think, or being able to get back into this position quite a lot of the time.
Keeps safety on that CT side, and only Marder and Ethan alive. A lot of damage taken for Marder.
He's on a stinger as well.
And it's just a checkmate.
Was Scuba aware of that push, and if he was picking Judge as viable, good luck playing Judge on this map and then retaking A. Like, you standing here the whole map, hoping that they run into you, and then you have a slightly advantageous opening duel is not why you picked a Judge on a map that's called Breeze. Yeah, look, so he runs in, he stunned left, and then the timing he literally slides, it's kind of crazy. I don't know. I mean, he stunned left, He's stunning left. And then goes back. I feel like there's something smart happening here.
Yeah. He does really well.
He just waited for the stun. Even still, like, it's... I don't know, just there's something nice there.
Previous round, Matt is exploring towards him. He's got to maybe consider... Obviously, condition liquid.
Very purpose for the mix, so lovely to see that little combination. Yep, when he has been for some time, but yeah, when you see it against big boy teams in big boy games, it gets a little bit scary.
I think Purple should just be playing solo more if he's actually comfortable with solo.
Towards the A site for NRG. All eggs in one basket.
Maybe we'll be wide open here.
A little bit trying to play in Marder, but the diligence is there. We're not seeing these.
I don't know why Marder would want to play that angle by himself.
And they are going in somewhat blind here.
I did encourage Team Liquid to push up like idiots though, so I guess it did kind of work.
Oh, just that's Hunter's Fury pop.
And that's gonna put Camo. Oh, he's alive. Now, how long? Fork seen, Scuba removed, it's a full map.
Liquid finds the open cycle here.
They got Brock's ult at.
Yes, there's ults on the other side, but it's a TP for Ethan. Doesn't really.
I don't know why, dude. I feel like many people play well. I don't know why everyone still flames him. People flamed him after this tournament. I think Miniboo's really good this year. I think that as soon as he went to Neon, he's been farming. I worry if Neon got nerfed a little bit. Because, like, it seems like his Neon is much better than the others. To me, Miniboo is a little scary. Nice. Nice. To me, he's like a high variance player who right now is playing, like, at his peak. And when he plays at his peak, he's very, very, very good. I think I just, like, my view is a little bit distorted, obviously working with, like, Derka for most of my career, and when I coached Derka, like, he was, you know, consistently one of the best in the world, so it's like, I don't quite appreciate how hard it is to be an entry player, I guess, sometimes. But I do think that Miniboo had like lows. I do think the variance between Miniboo at its peak and Miniboo's like C game is pretty high. But if he continues to play Neon, like I think he's in a good spot.
Curiosity will be kept in check for now. Not going to overextend here. And Liquid kind of toying with tempo, taking their time across the map, holding space, not leaving.
Tia would be really good with a more prac and a deeper playbook, shot book. This is the thing. That is logical and rational. But logic and rationality just sometimes don't work. Like sometimes it's just like, sometimes you need to, how do I explain it? Sometimes you need to be able to catch your form and hope your form is happening whilst you're also like doing good stuff, if that makes sense. Your form is like fleeting sometimes. And so like Team Liquid are in quite good form. And like for whatever reason, they might lose that form a little bit. And so just having the deeper playbook and stuff might not be the case. I don't think they're gonna come out of form. I think they'll be fine, and I think you're right. But I think if you're playing good form and you have like easy things to fix, like by the time you fix those things, you might be out of form. It's like weird. Valorant's weird sometimes. You have to catch the magic when you got it. You have to be ready.
And last time around, there's no real respectability, and Marder gets away with murder. Miniboo's gone down. Hunter's Fury from further away, but Marder just
like I think that what you're trying to do in Valorant is basically trying to make your team good enough and have all the protocols and reactions and all that shit ready for when you've actually got good form. And if the two like merge together, then you're just like amazing, you know what I mean?
It wasn't the case. Still a player on backside. Kiko on and Liquid. Ethan's gonna remove that. Still gonna try and play in Kiko. And they don't like it. They've got the ult, they don't need to go any further. They can kind of backpedal from this, but Kiko's Curiosity will be kept in check for now. Not gonna overextend here. And Liquid kind of playing with tempo, taking their time across the map, holding space. Not leaving anything to chance.
Smoke that does nothing.
Can't spot anything here, so Camo going to be able to open up the B site with his ultimate.
And last time around, there's no real
Hidden spot, Marder.
and Marder gets away with murder. Miniboo's. And last time around, there's no.
They've never created any question marks. Again, no question marks here. And the drone sees everything. Like, the drone sees just enough to make it feel like they're either going here or here. And so they're able to just play so stacked into the site. Like, nothing here, nothing here. These are the two, like, yeah. I keep saying it, like, these two areas feel like the most important parts of middle. And, like, consistently teams on the attack side are not dealing with them. And so they're then going into stacked sites consistently on their XX.
It wasn't the case. Still a player on back. That's going to be a spike. Nats's luck becomes predictable at this point. Can he do anything?
Why didn't Viper spam when they were pushing the molly? Because Neon ran through quickly. And so you're probably spamming nothing.
Maybe a chance to remove a weapon here.
And it wasn't like he had a good angle. Like this, if he spit and he was like here, you spam that all day. Spamming this is like low reward kind of spam, I think. Depends. If you got another person with you, I'm more likely to spam this. If I'm by myself, I need to make sure that like I have every possible advantage to take the duel that is inevitably coming, and not just immediately giving away my position. Like they can't be 100% sure where you are, even if you put the spit down.
I think he popped it earlier on in the round. I'm fairly sure. I think maybe just the right with the team.
All right.
It's like, yeah, okay, he's a million miles away, but others, he's able to just...
Oh, he's essential.
Vipro, amen.
We ask a lot of this man, right? He has to do a lot of work here, but similar to be said...
I remember watching this round too. I must have been watching more Valorant yesterday than I thought. So Scuba plays at the back of his ult, and isolates the duel here. And then basically just gives up his ult here, which I think is a very mature decision. Now they still have this Viper orb to work with for the split. There's no real reason to overextend back into the ult. Like they're chilling 5v4. Like it's the most disciplined thing I've seen today. Like if that was G2, they're running back in that ult. They ain't playing at the back of that ult, unless it's Leaf, maybe. And they're just running back here. This guy would be up aggressive, like, you know what I mean?
A bit of space through middle. Gets held towards the site. Scuba in between a rock and a hard place. Found his body to drain some of these site XX.
Able to force Scuba deep enough though, the pit will fall.
Use VOD space, it has all the rounds. Okay, I'm very anti this VOD space psyop that's happening. I have not needed a single, like there's no reason for me to use it right now. And so the more it gets brought up in my chat, the more reasons you're gonna have to give me to use that site. Like the more I see it in my chat promoted, the more I'm gonna flame it. It might actually be good, but you're gonna have to give me reasons why it's good. Because I've not seen a reason why to use it yet. If they want to sponsor me and then I gotta pretend it's good, then go ahead. But until then, no free ads in my chat.
At this point, the kind of swing and roundabout of momentum does sit with NRG, even only at 3 rounds. I think they've got that.
The free ad I will give is that what's that thing right now? Anders showed me it. It's a bit like Valoplant, but it looks like better, maybe. This thing. It's looking kind of cool. Tactival. Looking kind of interesting. Might put Valoplant. I started playing with it. I don't know if is it public yet? Tactiva? Yeah, it's like Valoplant. Yeah. The unfortunate thing is I think we're about to get Valo. Actually, I'm not going to speak.
Does he get caught? Or can he slip away? And Marder here as well.
I'm hoping that Tactival puts some pressure on Valoplant to like up some other things. I think Valoplant's still good though. I mean, I have the website link, and it worked for me, so I don't know.
Is able to get out. And Kiko now has to respect this with how deep Marder's TP is. So we get a full 5v5 here. The pit will lay out over the plant as well.
Yeah, really nice take from
I think I need to flag something actually. Once I know right side that. How come Kiko's so good with the open all of a sudden? Most players are probably competent with AWP. I mean, Kiko used to be a duelist, for fuck's sake. It's just when he was playing for Team Liquid when he was a duelist, I didn't think he was that good, because, I don't know. Maybe he wasn't, I don't know, used very well or something, I don't know. But he didn't look very comfortable at all when he used to play duelist for Team Liquid. Like primary duelist before his like flex, smokes, braze kind of days, you know.
Nats now needs to come into effect, as does Purpo. Miniboo's got 2 to hand. Oh, he can't get the second. A valiant attempt, but down to 2. Purpo and Nats on the site itself. Purpo on the free 5.
Christ.
Checkmated by Key.
TP is
5v5 post plant with a Viper ult. How do we lose this? Like, I keep seeing teams losing Viper ult post plants. The first problem is we have someone peeking outside the ult for no reason. He TPs up and gets killed. Second issue is Camo then goes for aggressive peek. Gets killed. Just play with the ult, guys. You play in the ult and then you play around the ult and you have one guy being a lurk. It's not that difficult. What's the chances Paper X lose to Furia? Let's have a look. I think that it's like 65% Paper X, 62.5. I'd say 62% Paper X. 62% Paper X. Maybe slightly higher. Maybe 63.5. Yeah, Wayne TP'd here like a noob. In the middle of nothing.
Panic moment, but Scuba catching Wayne exactly the same. Look where Camo is.
Just no man's land then. Ooh. And the difference that could make to have Camo there, right? If he was in the right place for it.
6-7. Is there a 6-7 going on?
There's effectively 5 members of NRG.
Where's the 6-7? 7-6?
Where Camo swings.
Hi, I am the creator of VOD Space. Let me give you a reason. The thing actually isn't just a spiral that looks good. Can you try going to VOD Space replay and finding this game? Are you an anti VOD Space psyop? Because you're writing that as if you're like an anti VOD Space psyop now.
Oh, that was quick. That was quick. So we'd seen Marder testing middle a couple
If you're actually the VOD Space guy, you've written that like you want this thing to fail. If I was on Dragon's Den right now, I'd be going in.
Has got all the way, yeah.
And completely. Oh no, that's unlucky, really. Wayne gonna do well to get one back, and it makes that B side seem a little bit more feasible, but there's still.
Where Camo swings.
Oh,
I mean, they don't throw any Jutsu. Oh, it's a anti-eco. They're just eco. How have they got this down? What's Brock doing? Brock's trolling.
You made this one feel possible. And this time Nat's playing with the pack as well. He's not separated from the others. You can see the turn of attention from Marder, potentially positioned to try and catch where Nat may be. And now you find out.
Are you gonna watch Fight the Final if you got the chance? No. No.
Yeah, just gonna be caught. Nat's trying to get towards side. They're holding those deeper lines, make it really hard to break through further.
I mean, Wayne's got a TP here. You can get a plan on 8 for sure. Kick off.
Out, but he's back. He's gone down one.
That was just a throw by NRG, man. NRG just threw.
Finding both players, starting this round and ending it.
In the clutch, as well. And the spacing here, I don't think NRG expected.
I trusted you not to view bot. Am I genuinely? Someone made the joke the other day that I was being view botted. Someone made a joke that they were view botting me the other day, and I was like, I mean, I hope that's not happening.
Clutch for Wayne.
That's an X factor I wasn't expecting to see there, but beautiful, beautiful stuff. And NRG's reaction.
Oh, you're joking about the dev, okay?
So they're gonna try and get elbow control.
Because I did have 1,000 viewers on YouTube the other day, and it says on my YouTube channel that my most concurrent viewers is like 300, and yet today and yesterday I had 500 as well. So I'm a bit confused.
Full stuff. And NRG's reaction is to go for a walk. So they're going to try and get elbow control while Liquid eye up the site itself. How far does...
Why would Fnatic Wolves be the best Masters London final? Well, because it's a football team in England.
Go.
Bruh, the Wolves wouldn't be a good final in London. Fnatic would be, and then just anyone really. I don't think it really matters.
Far enough.
Okay, Purpo very diligent, but Miniboo's been let off the leash. There's two players to fall. Yeah, he's starting to feel that rhythm now.
And a ton of space to move into. Two freebies here, and Liquid now to take the side. Kiko nearly catching wind of somebody. Will find camo.
Yeah, that was quick.
Kiko's just farming.
It doesn't change the outcome now. Gonna note Miniboo and potentially one on the site, so they've got great information. They found 3 players from this. To try and pry them out of these positions is certainly not easy, and Ethan's a little bit further away. Maybe that paranoia about Nats is still there.
And Nats is in his own buy phase. Still just waiting. Again, that's what's slowing down this retake here of NRG.
Great time buy up. You kind of have to respect it, right? You got to keep it in mind. Miniboo's gone down. Ethan gonna find another. It's Wayne.
Okay, Wayne again.
Back-to-back impact now.
Nice Wayne. Bruce. Okay. Breeze. Sorry, Breeze is kind of hard to lock in on, honestly. Viper ult A again. They're gonna force through a Viper ult again. After last time, when Scuba literally farmed them, they decided to try and test Scuba again. This must be like, Nats must think that this Viper ult is so bad that you should be able to brute force it. I don't think that's the case. So 2 rounds lost from trying to force a Viper ult. Why do you like Breeze? I don't hate Breeze. I hate watching teams play Breeze, and generally speaking right now it's hard to like really break it down.
Right? Yeah. I think for me, certainly, NRG doing enough in the first half to put Liquid into
Just sit back
an
up.
awkward position, right? Do you adopt the same approach that clearly didn't work previously here on the defense? How proactive will it be? Pistol round to go by here. An immediate walk down mid. Proactive.
Can Miniboo wrap all the way main instead of fighting doors there? I didn't see, sorry. I don't remember. I don't remember the round.
An immediate walk down mid. Crunch towards double doors.
I mean, this Viper ward is mad. Interesting aggression. But look at this though.
But the problem is the spike.
Well, they faked the plant. They're going to catch Brock.
It's a fake A go B. The crowd gives away everything, man. I love the passion from the crowd, but they give away everything.
Then if you're Kiko, you're on the wrong side of the map, and you've got a 3v5 to hold.
This fight towards spawn is going to be crucial to NRG's success.
How much time can they even buy in this to allow for someone like Kiko to come into effect? That's what I'm mostly wondering. How long can you wait? They've cost a lot of time. Very, very slippery.
Liquid need to pick up the pace here.
Well, yeah, the longer this goes on, the more that Kiko can actually do something with this. The smokes are starting to be invested.
Why are we bullying this guy? I think it's because I've been tagged in things from the website to try and have a look at it. And I don't know, like for me it feels slightly like, I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't be doing, I don't know. I remember I got tagged in Twitter or something. I was just like, why are you tagging me? And then it didn't look very, it wasn't a very good product. So I don't know. It's like, I don't know, maybe I'm being cynical, but like a lot of people try to get into Valorant stuff because they're trying to make money, right? And so if that's the case, it's fine, but like don't then expect me to be nice. I don't know. Or maybe I'm just being a dick. That's kind of crazy that the
well, yeah, the longer this goes on, the more that Kiko can actually do something with this. So it's time to be invested as Camo starts to clear. Down on 45 and mini boost pretty low as well. They got to get moving. Great stall on the paranoia. Keep in mind Kiko finally pulls the...
Isn't Viper opening this deep is a waste, as it will be like a molly like a Viper orb just delaying a push? No. If a Viper ult that controls all of the space is a lot better than an orb or a spit, because they have to literally walk through. They don't know where you are at all, and it damages you. Like, I don't think this is one of those moments where I can explain it more. Like, there's more cover, and so more damage being done, and then the option to kill people 1 HP because there's a much bigger box. If anything, it should be more deep, like, if possible. I don't know. Yeah, deep ult guarantees to get 1 HP.
Open for him.
Yeah, wouldn't say this time. No real stack either, but Wayne's going to hear all of this. They're a little ahead of the paranoia though, so they're not going to have to respect it too much. And I think he got spotted. Great attempt by Miniboo, and it's landed the shot. But then it kind of falls a bit short. It was a nice little try there. Gonna probably get too much more than that, as it is just the classics to remain. So the plant's in, and NRG would love to keep 4 standing in this.
Definitely, even with limited investment. Not sure what Brock dropped, actually.
When somebody uses the word hate, I know that it's not that people are hating. I know that. Like, I'm always going to use the most, you know, I say flame just when someone says a comment that's like negative. Like, I'm just an exaggerating person.
These rifles.
Kind of late point of trying to qualify here became pretty essential for their form.
When the commitment came pivotal to their success.
I'm getting really hungry.
These are the ones I look towards on the buy for Liquid. They threw away so many.
I'm getting really hungry. I might not watch Abyss.
Some of these pressure points on the map. NRG well equipped here. In terms of dealing with that, might actually going to back away from that, take the TP.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was going to pull a third player from Liquid. It hasn't. They seem happy enough with that. So they keep their 3 posted on the B side. Bit of a trade out. Marder now equipped to take the site with a little bit more ease.
They're just playing really passive. I mean, they have 4 A main and then they can stack B because of it.
What's the hold going to look like? Because we saw that, to be fair, NRG was struggling to deny the springboard in.
It's kind of a... They have 3 stacked on the site and still... Okay, never mind. Only a 2v2. That's crazy to have a full 3 stack on B and it go 2v2. I don't know what you're supposed to do if you lose this round.
back behind.
Didn't want to do it. Lower. Yes, Wayne goes out. Another tap. He now knows both players. He can't.
Close.
It was for even again.
So a ton of pressure to break through the choke. So it's a miracle Nats still gets 3.
He's an incredibly good player. Again, those 3 get.
Check the website. I'll stream for the rest of the features. By the way, the website's free forever. I'm losing money here. Fair enough. I mean, fair enough. I have nothing against you.
Very much back in the driving seat here. By now in play though for NRG.
It looks cool. I don't personally need to use it. It doesn't give me any value, I don't think, right now. I can check it again at some point to see if like there's something I'm missing.
By now in play though for NRG. And it's direct an approach as they do look to try and take this A side. But once again, Nats is here. This man is present. The Dark gonna reveal a little bit of info, but not everything. That's big though. But the time is here. This man is present. The Dark gonna.
I mean, Nada is kind of going solo. We were critical of G2 for doing this kind of thing. But it was a more like, this duel is going to be impacted by, you know, the wall coming down soon. If that makes sense. God. Rather than just running into Link, I guess. I don't know. It did feel just like individual brilliance, though. God. This is Purpo's best map he's played, right?
Yeah.
By fear at the sake of what Purpo's just done, but caught on the back pedal.
Yeah. Really looking for Liquid to reset. It looked like Wayne was halfway out of the site here towards a rotation. Orb will go up here. Wayne, can he catch?
Oh, he's so close now. He's got a really good idea, but the timing. Oh my God! That's the old to get those early, but they don't really have the buy behind it. He's got a Vandal. That's it.
Quick glance out to mid. Nothing spotted here, but Liquid's still going to try and make a little bit of pressure for Purpo to shine on this hero rifle. No chance of Mivu potentially getting his ultimate here. Actually catching the paranoia. It's a big piece of info. The Liquid were about to descend on A main. Cross-map Dark going to come through. Supportive smoke here from Wayne. Going to allow Nats a little window.
Ooh, I like that. So just being really, really head-tense.
Okay.
Quick. So might be in a little bit of trouble.
Should be easy peasy. What?
Yeah, we'll find Nats. Gonna need to see a bit more to get my attention in this round as NRG.
Energy throwing another round. Energy keeps throwing rounds.
That's still doing damage.
Yeah, I'm paying attention.
Still a rifle here for Purpo.
Yeah, I'm paying attention. I'm very much paying attention because suddenly we're in 1v3.
That's like 2 rounds for Energy just full into.
Don't do anything about it. They're close, but they've got it. I mean, Wayne to me on a sheriff is
very well stacked.
Oh, this is sick. If we're getting this quality game between the two, I'm all aboard.
Quality game. Pansy, come on. That's Energy just throwing.
But look at the surround here. This is not comfortable for NRG, so they want some safety. They want to carve a path. Ults back and forth. A little bit of chip, but not enough to write home about. Purpo sending his
Viper ulting here. You see what I mean? Like Team Liquid, I think Team Liquid could win this game if they just were fine with using Viper ults normally. Like their whole philosophy on attack against the Viper ult was, this Viper ult is terrible, let's brute force it. And then on our side, we're never going to use a good Viper ult. We're going to just do shit like this.
Actually,
friendly fire.
Yeah, that's a little rough.
It's overcooking. I think when you have a player that understands their role really well, there's some prone, they can be prone to overcooking. There's no way I'd accept my Viper players to just think that these ults are good.
They're trying to find some security at least towards A main, but Camo's been clean with these. Oh, what did I say? Oh, I've lied, but it's fine.
There are reasons why the aggressive ults can feel like shit, but I don't think that this is good.
That's a little rough for Nats.
It does help. It's helpful, but I don't think it's good. It's like it allows Team Liquid to have some space in this retake, right? But like ultimately, you're gonna have to walk through your own Viper woods or like ult to make it useful, and it does cut off some of the lines to see across. Like the better thing here is if you just look at the control that Team Liquid have. I think the reason they win this round, ult or no ult, is they have a full like fucking circle around NRG. They have every single flank being, you know. And then this duel was like the big duel.
Friendly fire.
Yeah, that's a little rough.
That's down to 18 HP.
Yeah. If Scuba wins that duel, I think NRG are fine.
So a 4v from security. Oh, I've lied, but it's fine. Liquid still just gonna be clearing house here. Camo is
Because Camo basically flanks and wins.
Beautiful here to catch.
He gets 2 on the flank. I mean, NRG didn't have full guns either.
At that point, a little off kilter here. Minibu finally getting towards his. I see some light investment. I mean, if they can make it to exactly found towards B's site. Camo and Wayne on the chopping block here.
Again, once again, Liquid playing a very static 3-0-2. Some A main pressure sometimes, then 3 ready B.
And we're seeing this many stingers. Yeah, I think they're considering the pit.
See if they get the
How did Team Liquid not win this game?
Even something they can try and bank on. Camo is here. Wayne's paranoia is really good. And look at this crunch. Liquid instantly just compound the problems. They try and divide between them. And it's a messy fight on the side, but it's won out by Liquid again. This choke point is brutal. Left casting for breath.
11-8. Hello, Sage. How you doing, bro? Are you in Chile? Are you doing stuff in Santiago?
This one could effectively decide it here. It'll be Liquid potentially finding 12 and NRG.
Okay, 3. It's kind of like a 3-0-2 again. Slight control this time.
Kilter with some of these key ultimates.
I wonder how they try and... So they're running away immediately. No, they're not. What are they doing? Solo peeking door. Okay. And dead. Stupid from Nuts. And then because they're playing this 3-0-2 and not actually going for any controller middle, there's no pressure here at all. Could easily have been 2 players pushing down here to actually win this round a bit better. And Nats is making stupid mistakes. This is uncharacteristic from Nats. The other thing though is that attack does have Viper ult, and so by not going aggressive at all and letting them Viper ult, they're going to win. This Viper ult isn't that great though. Actually, it does give them a lot of space to work with here. Like having this, it kind of is a lot of space, and then you can take timings here and here. Interesting ult. Interesting ult. Usually I don't like an ult that doesn't involve the spike, covering the spike, but that one's kind of interesting. Yeah, Kiko. Minibu's peaked before the flash. Flash is coming in here from a Yoru, right? I think. Yeah. So Minibu just decides to go before the flash.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, give me the replay. Let me see that one again. But it's gonna be the battle of the doors, and it is
Purpo's aim is looking fucking insane, by the way. Just so calm. If I dinked to player it there, I would just immediately start spraying more. I'd be crouch spraying right now. He just is still moving, resets his recoil, and just headshots again. That's very nice.
their fallen teammate, but it ain't over yet.
This should
Marta is up and breathing.
be a Team Liquid
Oh,
round,
he's
right?
just enough credit. Brock gonna be seen. Marta.
I think Team Liquid should have won this game.
Can't quite find Marta yet. And Marta's found them. Gonna go 1-for-1 on the trade, and Brock
Team Liquid should have won this game.
Wayne's been sick at this. He has been clutch as hell.
Yeah, they should have won this game. Team Liquid should have won this map. Not the game, but this map.
Don't think they haven't.
Too many instances of like, I know Team Liquid won like stupid rounds that like NRG threw, but like, yeah, it's really hard to say like a team should win a map or not. But like, I guess both teams gave away a lot of rounds. You should look at the FK-FD difference. That's crazy. That is crazy. I guess you shouldn't really be winning a game if this is the case. I wonder what the true FKFD is here though, and how much of this is like eco and stuff. But yeah. Love you, man. What are your early projections for Furia PaperX? I am the worst content creator in the world, and asking me to do predictions is like the worst question. I think PaperX will win. Like, much like everyone else, outside of some people.
Has been beautiful from NRG. Just when Liquid look to go forward.
I need an exclamation mark for ranked as well, because I can't as abs batter. It's a question I can't answer. I can't answer how to get better at ranked. It's not a question I can answer. I don't know you. I've not watched your games. I can't. It's like. It's like me asking you, how do I get better at football? And you've never met me before, presuming you know how to play football or something. It's like it's impossible. I don't know. I'm not going to give you a good answer.
That's what I want to see. It's one thing to know it might be coming. It's another to try and handle it, right? That's what I want to see. What is the game plan now from Liquid in this timeout? Shoulder up.
Team Liquid's defense on this map, I think, is kind of weak, but it might be a game plan. There are a lot of maps where Team Liquid's defense is extremely one-dimensional. Either pushing, and it's just a push, like push, or here, always hard anchoring. Like they're never like exploring heavy towards middle. There's never like it doesn't feel like they're transitioning around the map. It feels kind of basic. It could be a game plan, because they are inevitably like, they are actually stacking right sides against NRG quite a lot. But I'm not seeing a lot of like proactivity. Okay, they got shot on there.
That was off the rip. That was the attempt made from Liquid to play a bit more aggressive, a bit more attentive towards A main.
The paranoia lands here, but Camo still punished on the peak.
You'll be there for finals.
Purpo and Minibu still here towards A site.
Cool. Purpo again, man. If Purpo brings his form into EMEA, it'd be very fun to watch Team Liquid.
Scuba and Ethan all looking to punish this buy now.
Okay, now 2-1-2. Still, they never. Team Liquid very rarely doing anything around the center of the map. Keeping their defense extremely simple. Sova's now center map ready to ult. Like if they go A, he can ult. If they go B, he can ult.
Maybe take the initiative.
Why do people go to a VCT coach to ask for help in ranked? General, just ask someone who plays ranked all day, and not only are they more likely to help you and for cheaper, but they also have better advice. I would say that's mostly true. Mostly. I do think that like asking a VCT coach is probably going to be helpful to some degree, but some VCT coaches I think are very bad at answering those questions. Like will give negative help. I think that like Bonka's content recently was really good, and I think that I'm more aligned with how to play rank properly than a lot of VCT coaches. But generally speaking, it's not really my expertise. And even if you ask someone good at ranked, like if you asked a streamer who was a ranked only streamer who was good at helping ranked, and you asked them how do I rank up, they're not going to give you a very good answer probably either. They're going to give you a generic bullshit answer.
Has to soak this one, Scuba. Time, Purpo's dropped a body, Brock's gone down, but unaware, and now unalive!
Yeah, Kiko just fucking...
It's down to a 2v2, it's not over yet. Nats is on the way, but Purpo has to live. 3 HP, he's being hunted down. Kiko!
That's funny. Kiko just shits on them at the end. Okay, right. I'm too hungry, and I've got some shit to do. I can't continue. People yearn for your generic bullshit. Yeah, but I don't have bullshit ready. Okay, right, I'm gonna go. Thank you all for watching. The streams are going quite well. Streams are going quite well. Viewership's good. Viewership from the stream's quite good. I'll start begging for subs soon if I feel like because it's like basically I'm thinking about long term. I don't know where to position myself. Like if the stream can become a little bit more like of an income stream, then I could think about my career slightly differently. Right now I don't need the money, but like it'd be nice to start making this a place that I can actually potentially bank on a little bit. So I'm gonna be thinking about that a little bit. Yeah, go ask for the votes for this, but yeah, I just know it's Hello Fresh money, you know what I mean? Do Stiggy's Prime method. What's Stiggy's Prime method? You just beg for primes, is that what you do? Okay, right. Who can I raid on Twitch? Who's streaming? Kayak is streaming. Should we just raid Kayak? Kayak 1. Kayak 1. Okay, right, I got... Oh, wait. That didn't work. Oh, I spelled his name wrong. Right. I'll catch you guys later. Tomorrow I'll be streaming again, VOD reviews. Have fun, etc., etc.